Truth is true. That's not the words to this song, but I'm singing it anyway. I'll make up my own words, cause my words are more fun to listen to than the ones they wrote for this song. Oh, Xuan-Yuan, we're back with game therapy, and I'm about to get it in so tough they don't even know. Party people, how we doing tonight? It is good to see all of you.
你们没死啊？托您的福，多谢老丈了。哼，你小子知道就好。但有的人就没这么好运气了。
There we go.
何浩他死在了上山。哦。哎，死就死了，这什么年头？死个把人稀奇吗？要买什么快说。上回是看文书将军的面子，此番不会再给你折价了。
不知老丈可曾见过类似的物事？
没有。何浩说他
没有 I know that word.
胡说。
I'm learning some of the language, man. That's cool.
是我师门的收藏，还请老丈成全。
好，你说是就是了。
We're good.
谁知道呢？
这……
不卖，你们走吧。不卖，那就是有了。有又如何？我说不卖就是不卖。
若是不卖也无妨，只要借我观看研究一番即可。
Oh, I forgot to.
你想干什么？
修好它。
Sacrilege.
好吧。
Sacrilege. Hordes of Navalor. I allowed the VECTREX to be obscured.
子旭，抱歉，
70 lashings
这枚
for
零
this
件破损
man
得更严
whore.
重，没有办法修复。
Now you knocked over Sam Porter
没事，
Bridges, you vile whore of a man
老丈，
pretends
请
to
问还
help
有类似的
people.
零件吗？
You're nothing but a whore.
哟，原来真是个懂行的，
Never
看不
obscure
出
the
来呀。
VECTREX again in your life.
这种零件自然还
Penalty
有，
of being thrown into
那
a
不但有
volcano，
而且还
if
很
you do
多
it，again.
就只怕
I
你
have
们
the
没能力
means
去
to
拿。
finish this. You vile
这是
whore.
何
There
意
we？go. All right, VECTREX is now
像何
not
浩那样
obscured.
入
And I'm
山
sorry,
取
Sam
宝
Porter，Bridges.
你
I'm
们行
sorry,
吗？
baby, and I'm interrupting the cutscene.
我们不做那不
I
告
don't
而取
watch
的勾
those
当。
anyway, so I'll let y'all enjoy it.
放
If I
心
can hear it.，
都是无主之物。
Cheer and Mabry.
进山取宝，出山，就这么简单。
There's my man Bob
你说的倒是轻松，怎么不自己去拿？
for the toss.
路上有妖魔，还有守御的
I'm
机
sorry,
关。
Sam Porter Bridges.
我这个人
I
胆小，
apologize, brother.
怕
You
死
deserve。better. All right, back in the mix.
这对你又有何好处？若你有多的机关零件卖
No,
我，
no,
我
no.
自有用处。
Cannot do that.
如何？
Will not obscure the VECTREX.
好，就去走一遭吧。还请告知具体方位。先到鹿林山碰头，到时候再跟你说。这若是先告诉了你，你取了宝就走，我找谁说理去？好吧，告辞。慢。如今鹿林山瘟疫肆虐，情况严重。圣公将军早已下令封山，你若要进去，得想点办法。那你呢？我自有办法，只是带不了其他人。好，鹿林山见。
Scooby-Doo.
你有办法进鹿林山？
没办法，只好去找文书了。
All right. So was anybody listening to that? Because I wasn't. I wasn't paying attention. Was anybody paying attention to that cutscene? What happened? I'm sorry. All right. Josh says, "Hello, Brian Chambers. How's it going? It's going fantastically, Josh. And I believe we left you hanging with a question on last night's show. I want to make sure we take care of that tonight." Let's see, Tag says, "Evening B, I'd like to argue it's the cutscene that's cutting into my game." Well said. Pardon me.
文叔，
Little
别来无
scratchy
恙。
throat tonight.
都好都好，子旭怎么有空来找我？
我们从商山来此，
途中遇上李军盘查，他们四处张榜通缉文书博生，二位请务必小心。
是吗？我等既已揭竿起义，通缉与否便无所谓了。就是不知我和博生的赏金谁要高些。多谢子婿相告。
还有一事，想求文书帮忙。
哦，请说。
我有急事需要进鹿林山一趟，但是听闻此刻圣公将军已下令封山，左右寻思想不到办法，只好舔着脸来求文书帮忙。
这倒好办。恰巧我亦有事，得去面见圣公。他驻扎于守平一地，子婿到了那儿，我替你引荐。
多谢文书。
君子已有辅人，能得有如子婿，是我幸，自该倾力相助。
方才来时听文书谈及圣公将军，似乎有些烦恼。
真是见笑了，还给你们听见那些话。
若我能为文书分忧，也算是报答。
便是些军务上的问题罢了，不足一提。此番亲去拜访，圣公定能理解，子婿不必挂心。
All right, kicking ass all night. Look at us, Jesus. I'm still very much enjoying the simplicity of this game experience. It's not overly complex. The battles are fun. They don't have to rely on gimmickry to appease nerds who complain about things like button mashing, as if you didn't sign up to play a game, you ape. It's a game, guys. This isn't doing nuclear physics for crying out loud.
我想起来了，香儿。文书将军给我的感觉，很像咱们阿父。
Wait, this looks like a different bridge than the last one we crossed, yo.
当他说着有不能后退的
Always
理
look
由
for
的时候
treasure, people.
让我想
Always
起了
look
阿
for your
父。
treasure.
阿父他是什么样的人呢？
阿父啊，他平常温文儒雅，待人谦和，所有人都敬爱他。小时候，大家都说我像阿父呢。
是吗？真想见见小时候的阿兄呢。
Tag says, I've got the same scratch going on. I'm making some ginger and lemon infused maple syrup to add to hot tea. How about that? I got some gourmet tea for Christmas. In fact, that's what I'm sipping on. This is one of my teacups. I made lots of tea before coming to the show so that when I take my breaks, I don't have to also brew more tea. So I have 2 things of tea and then I have 2 things of water just to keep hydrated, keep from overheating, and keep the health going right. Dude, that soundtrack just got... Woo! Y'all hear that? That dynamic soundtrack shift was... Woo! That was nice. I love a dope soundtrack. You give me a song that I can't stop listening to, I'll play a shitty game to listen to that. No bull. I will endure a game that beats the hell out of me. Like, if Dark Souls had a crazy, amazing soundtrack, I'd probably be the Dark Souls master. That would be the thing I need to keep me focused on playing that game while I'm completely frustrated and beat down. Josh says, Brian, on the question, the gist of it was that I lost my sense of smell and felt sad and anxious to the point of having trouble taking my thoughts captive like you told me. And I think it might be due to an anxiety I have of losing all of my senses, which comes from a thought I had a while back. What senses could I do without? And the answer I came up with is neither, as they all are precious. So yeah, your problem is you're doing the exact opposite thing of taking your thoughts captive, and you're leaning into the thing that you're afraid of that's not real, right? The chances of you losing all of your senses are very slim to none, but in your brain, you're simulating what would life be like without that. Remember that the brain doesn't really know the difference, except for one small thing I'll talk about in a second. your brain doesn't really know the difference between you simulating you losing all your senses and being sad about it, and you actually losing them. So you're feeling the depression, and you're feeling a semblance, a taste of the depression and the sadness you would feel as if you lost your senses, especially because you have lost one of your senses as a result of COVID. Right, so leaning into that energy is going to hurt you. So in this case, I think your better tactic or strategy is to act your way out of your thoughts versus trying to think your way out. Right? Like, of course you're having a ton of anxiety. You're sitting there thinking about losing all of your senses. Don't sit there and think about that. Go get involved in other shit that takes your mind off of it. And that's how you act. And remember, your ability to use the limited supply of energy you get every single day while you're awake to fight off those thoughts is hindered by the fact that you're not 100% healthy. Your body's deploying a lot of its resources to get rid of your COVID. So you're not going to have the energy to fight off bad thoughts and thinking. So anxiety will always be exacerbated in situations where you are not physically 100% well. So just accept the fact that you're going to deal with a little more anxiety until you get over the sickness, and find things to get into that aren't terribly physically intensive, but allow you to take your mind off of what you're feeling, i.e. video games is a great way to do that. That's an example of using video games as an anxiety cure that's healthy. So instead of playing it like an addict would, where you're manically trying to finish things, you were using them temporarily as an escape from the reality that you're existing in to get your thoughts into another place, because you don't have the requisite amount of energy to keep your thoughts where they need to be, because that takes a lot of glucose in your brain to be able to use it. Now, the one thing that helps your brain, I said I'd come back to it, know that you're not losing all your senses, even though it feels like it, anxiety and depression-wise, is your conscious mind knows better. So it tells you, no, you're not losing them. But in the back of your mind, you keep thinking about it. And your brain is a simulation machine. Like, let's run the simulation to see what happens. Human beings are one of the only species that can simulate the future and try to predict what's going to happen based on running the simulation, either in our mind or in physical space. Right? So, anyway, hopefully something in there is helpful for you, brother. Great question on dealing with the anxiety that comes from our thinking and how to get out of it. Let's see. Capadonna says Kim and chocolate sizzling. Oh yeah, Kim Kardashian sizzles and chocolate. So you may be wondering, what's today's title about, B? That was a headline I saw on the internet, and I said, well, Kim Kardashian sizzles and chocolate. That sounds interesting enough to make it a show topic. I have no idea what the article was about. I just saw the headline, thought it was awesome. It's like, that's how every headline should be written from now on. Kim Kardashian sizzles and chocolate. Bill Burr inseminates everybody all over the world. Like, wow. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for the extra juice. Okay, that was a little gross. But that's the risk you take. When you're pulling jokes out of your ass, sometimes they're going to come out dirty. Tag says, Josh, a side note, my mother was born blind in her left eye, detached optic nerve. As a kid, I used to walk around the house with my eyes closed because I was scared of losing my sight. Hey, now I have crazy proprioception, I think is how you say that word, when I'm moving, and it has helped me immensely in my martial arts. Hell yeah. Because your body had to adapt to losing one. And that's the thing too, Josh. Something you can quell your fears with is if you lose one of your senses, the body picks up, it heightens the rest of them to come to your aid to help you out. So, and the science is already in. The actual sense you want to lose the least is hearing. So, keep your hearing, keep your eyesight decent, you'll be all right. Keep smelling. As soon as COVID's over, you get your smell back. Yeah, that's a good take, Chris. Well said, man. I read something somewhere that says I'm supposed to keep stocked up on my my supplies and whatnot. So I'm trying to figure out Mike Lowry. Oh yeah, we at the village, baby.
喝水吗？
Cap says loving the Christmas setup.
吃点
Thanks,
东
Cap.
西。哪儿不舒服？
他整天不是吐就是拉，没力气。
我身上还备有一些药草，可以先分给这对兄妹。
来，
This is a really pedestrian scene to put in a game, but I like it because it's not something I hear like
这些
vomiting and
你先拿着吧。
diarrhea. That you don't hear that in games. Like usually the problem you run up on in a village is a dragon just ate all of her
谢谢你们。
babies and now you got to go chase the dragon. I like this. Subtle. It's different.
眼眶深陷，全身脱水，手脚发淡。这些村民的疫病再不处理，定成大患。子旭，你看，
虽已有心理准备，不料疫情如此严重。这个数量，以我们的能力，怕是无法负荷。
Ti, what up?
不如我们先找到文书，要能见了圣公将军，再见机行事，请他协助。
你说的对，赶紧走吧。
Yeah, I can't argue with you, Cap. I guess the difference is the story in this game doesn't annoy me like all the other video game stories do, because they're so clearly written to be a Saturday morning cartoon and not a story that should hold the attention of an intelligent adult. Well, you know what? Intelligent adults like Saturday morning cartoons also. I used to love them. But I don't want them in every one of my games. It's like they get old and predictable. You know, I used to love Laugh Olympics, even though that wasn't really a Saturday morning thing. That was more regular everyday. Who else here used to watch Laugh Olympics? Say aye in the comments. Ah, I knew there'd be something back here. Yes, I knew there'd be something back here too. Explorers always win. And I got some more cotton, bitches. Holla at you. The amount of video games and movies coming out next year, my wallet, man. Rip to that. What movies are you fired up about for next year? So Tag says, yes, I used to watch what did I say? Saturday morning cartoons? I meant to say, for Christ's sake, who used to watch the USA Cartoon Express is what I was trying to say. What did I say? Saturday morning cartoons? I'm too busy playing a game and trying to focus on that and not having a conversation with y'all. Who used to watch the USA Cartoon Express and Laugh Olympics? Who used to watch that? And give it back to Cap. What movie are you excited about most for next year, bro? Okay, this was the house I looked in. Got it. That's what I wanted to see.
Zhi, 来得正好。文书，久等了。
圣公将军性子较为急躁，这阵子又为了疫病的事情烦心，待会儿恐怕不会有什么好脸色，还请多多担待。
明白了，多谢文书。
不会，我们边走边说吧。
好，这瘟疫的事情远比我想象的严重。
谁说不是呢？我也是到了首平，才发现疫情如此严重。 原本还想着请圣公出兵支援，如今看来，
I like the costume design in this game too. It's really, really effing good, dude. Like that's some Final Fantasy level type ish right there. Like one of the things Final Fantasy does do well is the aesthetic of the game. They usually get that pretty dope. And Xuan-Yuan here has done, I think, a pretty fantastic job. Even though the visuals are somewhat limited because we're playing on old technology, just the artwork and the detail that went into this is freaking phenomenal. Like I'm really blown away by a definitely lower budget game being able to pull stuff like that off. It's pretty dope.
蠢材，连个小小疫病都处理不了，要你作甚？
是，将军恕罪，属下会再想办法。
想办法？你看看外头，还有时间给你想办法？滚！看了就烦。
是，将军。
哎，文书远道而来，不知所谓何事啊？
圣公，
本将军先说一句，来时你想必也见到，守平如今自身难保，文书切莫再强人所难。
圣公将军，民女略通医术，但请将军听我一言。
哦，
方才检视几名病患，发觉他们皆有燥热、口干之症，严重者则屡发沾雨，需要尽快服药清热解毒，或可熬制几贴药方给百姓使用。
可笑，此事无需再提。
将军，
我今既无药材，亦没有余力替那些废物张罗药
Damn
治病。
How did this fucker
若能
become
救
a
治百姓，
general with
他们
his
自会敏感
disdain
在
for
心，
people like that?
因而更加信任将军的治理。既得民心，便能得天下，此即为兼相爱、交相利之理。
你个妇道人家，也懂如何领兵打
Yeah,
仗。
she should lecture you
治理
about
百姓
leadership. You're a shitty fucking leader.
治病之事或可在意，今日实有一事相求。
哦，说说。
子旭，子旭曾助博生击退妖魔，手下遇水，与我绿林军有功。如今他有要事，需要进鹿林山一趟，还请圣公应允。
此刻进山，所谓何事啊？
上山采些药草。村中疫病肆虐，我寻思山上或许有些药草可以治病。
是吗？刚刚你说兼相爱，交相利。
是。
好，那本将军便与你们先相爱，交相利一番。我军不日便要开往玉水，然而半道却有妖魔阻路，尔等助我清除妖魔，我便允了进山之事。
没问题。
将军，关于治病之事，
那个呀，你们要救便救，随你们便。都下去吧。
圣公，关于转进玉水一事，
那将军实在是
太过无礼。
对，太过无礼了。不救便罢，何必如此嘲讽？
似乎正如传闻所言，是个挺有个性的将军。
哼，对百姓的苦难无动于衷，与王莽又有何异？令人失望。
慎言。有这想法的人肯定不少，绿林军日后恐怕还会有冲突。好了，我们也该出发了。
All right, let's take some of these here comments. Cap says, I'm really excited to see Shazam 2, The Flash, Batman, and the Marvel joints, but most excited is Batman and Black Panther 2. Okay, cool. And can't forget Black Adam. So school me. What's Black Adam? I've not heard of that. Or I've heard that phraseology before, but I don't know. Is that a comic book character? T.I. says, B, could you pray for my uncle? Absolutely. He was getting chemo treatment, so his immune system is shit, and now he's in the ER with COVID. I got you, man. Absolutely. We can, if you like, we can carve out some time to pray on the show tonight as a group. If you like. If you want me to just pray in private, I can do that too. Let's see. Tag says, I'm hopeful for Black Adam. Shazam was a fun watch. In Shazam the movie with Shaquille O'Neal? Are they making is that the Shazam y'all are talking about? Wanted good considering how much The Rock wanted to be in the role. Passion is always a good thing. Yeah, Rock is a passionate dude, man. He gets after shit. I mean, he's the most successful actor of this age. He's now a successful music artist, successful athlete. He's killing it, man. Oh, I have some really, really awesome kind of news to share with you all tonight, too. I got quite possibly the most pleasant message I've received in quite some time came in today. And you may be looking at a guy that's going to be doing something really awesome here in the next year. So we'll talk about that on the show tonight, too. Josh says, Bryant, what you said exactly is what I've been going through. My mind keeps playing these scenarios of life without... Yeah, so stop it. The taking your thoughts captive is turning that off. And it's going to be harder for you to turn it off because you're weakened by being sick. So knowing that, give yourself an option to use a tool to get your mind in another place. Meditation, video games, working out. You know, if you can do minor, like yoga and breathing workouts. I'm not talking about going and running laps when you have COVID, but I mean, you could do, you know, deliberate breathing exercises. You can do yoga and meditate. I think you could do yoga. Check with your doctor. I think yoga is low intensity enough for some, and I'm not a doctor, so don't take that as advice, but there are things you can do to put your mind in another space is the point. So use those tools while your body is recovering. And then when your body gets back to 100%, you're like, I have literally had nutrition, like lack of nutrition induced anxiety before, where I didn't have enough food in my system because I don't remember what I was doing, fighting a war, trying to build a company. I hadn't eaten enough. And all of a sudden I had this violent anxiety that hit that was completely uncontrollable. And once I got to the other end of it, I realized, oh, wait a minute, this was totally biological. Like, and the stuff you become afraid of in that spiral is so, like, when you come out of it, you realize how ridiculous all the things you were being scared of were. Right? But you're in a biologically induced state of anxiety. So you've got to give yourself, like, your diet needs to be right. You need to be getting more of, like, the proteins and the different types of foods that can lower anxiety and certainly lower inflammation, which is going to make it harder for you to fight off the anxiety. So stay away from the fried foods, stay away from really highly acidic things, you know, things to think about, right? Like keeping this human machine running at optimal levels is a fucking full-time job. And most people don't know how to do it and don't know the tools I'm talking about. So you got to start to put those things to use, my brother. And you're going to notice hanging around on this show and having conversations like this, like, be glad you're here now and you're not my age. Be glad you're learning this shit now and don't have to go through the fucking hell I had to go through to learn it. You could just learn it from the guy who's been to hell and then you don't have to go. Boo. You know, Dave Chappelle calls that expensive knowledge. I like that term. He talked about, you know, a guy who's been to war has expensive knowledge. He learned some shit in that war that nobody else wants to go to a war to fucking learn. Believe that. Also, what you said about my body not having enough energy to hold back the thought. Of course. So you need to rest, eat better. There's all kinds of over-the-counter supplements you can take too. Like there's B vitamins you can take that will help your nervous system regulate better. Right? You may be a little bit deficient in that because your body's using it up to try to keep you healthy. Get your vitamin C and D levels up because your body's using that up. Like, take care of the chemical issues, right? The nutritional issues. Then focus on trying to do the mind game, you know, or then take care of the physical issue, then focus on the mind game. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I just want you to get the help you need, man. Tag says, Josh, I can't eat 90% of food right now, man. I feel you on the anxiety of missing out. Hell yeah, Tag. Tell him. The Shaq movie was Kazam, not Shazam. Got it. I'm learning. Oh, so no signal, huh? It's cool. I see. Yeah, sometimes I forget. What's up, Jolly? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here despite my lack of administrative skills. Hey, it's kick-ass time. Y'all know what that do. Oh, I need to remember how to do the special moves. How do we do the special moves? I forgot how to do them. There they go. Light them up, lady. Okay, I'm just relearning the controls because I play like 9 different games at the same time. First of all, this music right here is from Jesus. Yes. Throw the grenade, homegirl. Pow! All in your ass. Get some, ladies. I love the ladies on my team, man. They kick all kind of ass. And I love kicking it with them. See, Josh says, I wish I could run, but I'm too weak. No, don't run. Sit your ass down. I'm saying do meditative type stuff basically meditation will get your head into your body so that it's out of your head. That's one of the things they help you with is managing your focus. Especially with guided meditation, it makes it easier. He says, just trying to hold a black man back. Said, how come everybody around the table got $1,000 chips and a black man got a nickel? That quote is still one of the funniest things I've ever heard. First of all, it doesn't make any sense. It just creates this scene out of nowhere. Oh, God, that scene is so good. We having too much fun out here, Jesus. See, a game like this, I could just do this. Level up a little bit, put a little skill points in my joint, kill a little harder, and then move on to the next place. We don't need this stuff to be all that complicated. Tag says, you ain't kidding about being a full-time job. Watching my nutrition levels has been of course, that's why I say it, because one of the things I want to encourage all of you with is if you're not taking care of your health, it's not 100% your fault. It's certainly your responsibility. But you live in a society that literally has been crafted to suck every productive ounce of your time outside of you. Whether it's your job, these fucking video games, your entertainment, your clubs that you're a part of, your churches, whatever you're doing. American life is designed to use up every waking moment of the fucking day. Like, go live in Europe for a little. I wish every American could spend some time living overseas, living in the Middle East, living in Europe, so you can see how different cultures just laugh at how ridiculous we are with certain things. Right? Like, you're so wired to get up every day and go hard in the paint. It's like, wait a minute. Like, actually sitting down to figure out what do I need to be doing in terms of my nutrition, it requires a little bit of understanding of biology, a little bit of understanding of physics. Like, there's study and trial and error that goes into taking care of your body. That if you only have 3 hours to yourself every day, and you have to do the opportunity cost. If I can invest that 3 hours in my health, I can invest that 3 hours in my side hustle that maybe gets me out of this job that I hate, or whatever the thing is. With 3 hours on your hands, it's not enough to take care of you and your side hustle and everything else. So what you got to start to figure out is, how do I start to maximize the time that I have in other areas so that I use less of it? Because taking care, like, I have learned as I get older and have less, professional responsibilities, right? I'm learning, like, oh, it's way easier to take care of yourself when you don't have to be the guy that people's calling on 18 hours a day to do stuff, right? It's also equally, in a way, harder to do it because then you have every reason to be lazy because nobody's holding you accountable. It's like me getting up and going to the gym. Nobody's making me do that but me. So if I'm going to the gym, it's because of my ass. Ain't nobody coming to get me. Nobody's knocking on the door and be like, B, did you get your workout in? If I don't make it to the gym, ain't no backup coming. So it's harder in a way, too, because it's like, damn, I have to actually be disciplined. Okay, we already did this. Just making sure. See, why I say that to encourage you. If you're not answering the, you know, the mail on taking care of your health like you should, take a step back. Don't overjudge yourself or condemn yourself for your lack of action. Realize that your lack of action is probably because you've not allotted the requisite amount of time to get you where you need to be. And so we just need to adjust our priorities such that we can get to where we need to be. Ooh, I got a black flame crystal. That sounds like something important. And there should be a treasure chest somewhere back here. You just gonna have all this space and no treasure. Heathen ass hookers. Keep killing. Light 'em up, lady. Well killed. Yo, what it is. Everybody do it for the biz. Look at this. Cha. They know what it is. We show them how to rock, and that's just the biz. Why? It's how they live. They showed them how to do it. Now they show them how to give. Give for a living. It's what you do. It's how you win. It's how you get going. How you want to do it. Shit. The realest you done seen. All the collard greens getting ate. When I step on the scene and I don't even like them, I'm just eating all the collard greens so you can't have none. Ho. I just bodied you. Debo style one time. I just rollered you. My man Rollo. Holding beats down tough. All right. Uh-oh, Jolly dropping the mysteries of the universe on this nutrition stuff. Tell him, Jolly. Oh, and if you guys left the show early last night and thought I rage quit on Jet Li, at the end we came back and I was able to save it. So we will come back and finish Jet Li. I've got to spend some time off camera practicing so I can actually get good at the game. We can actually beat it. So it was all for the camera. We didn't actually rage quit. I just suck so bad at the game, I knew it was time to shut it down because there was no way I was going to beat that fight without either looking at someone else winning it or practicing it enough to get good at it. And I was like, I'm not going to torture the audience watching me suck at a video game for the next hour and a half doing the same shit over and over again. So we'll come back and finish Jet Li. Overall, I think it's a very ambitious brawler. I like that they did it. It definitely needed some more time in the cooker, some more testing, but hell, it's certainly better than a lot of other games I've played, so can't hate it.
但凡下了雨后，毒菇会腐化成黑色毒蜂。那毒蜂的毒针长满刺，身子却小，能够悄悄地靠近来人。
听起来确实危险。
危险的还在后头。它会在夜晚的时候飞到你身边，然后偷偷钻进耳朵或鼻子里。
阿修。
怎么了？
这个故事有点可怕。
好吧，那就不说了啊。呀
Easy, easy, easy. All right, so a couple of things I want to. Yes, drinking enough water is huge. I started drinking a gallon a day, and I don't recommend necessarily a gallon a day. Adjust to your thirst level, friends. I drink that much because I train that much a lot of times, but I started doing that because I actually suffered from severe dehydration when I was a cadet in college, doing military guy stuff and sleeping in a dorm that was 100 degrees with no air conditioning. Because my college was too cheap to put us in actual dorms. They put us in the attic of one of the dorms because they were overbooked, but that's how they roll. And I'll tell you, if you've never had heat exhaustion, I don't wish it on anybody ever, fucking ever, because it feels like you're dying and it sucks really bad. And you do not, unfortunately, you don't come out, even when you rehydrate, you don't necessarily just snap out of it. Like it took me 24 hours to get back to even a semblance of, oh, thank God. And from that day forward, that was the day I quit drinking soda because I had been drinking nothing but soda for like a month with barely any water. And I paid the piper for that one. But some of the things I want to talk with everybody about tonight, let me take the sunglasses off now so I can transition into the character that's being empathetic and loving and serious. You guys see all these books over here on my desk? These, if you can actually screenshot it, you can cheat a little bit. A lot of these are books that are coming up in our 52 book challenge, or what we're calling the Brian Chambers Movement Wisdom Challenge. So next year, me and my team of Spartans, some of the people that I train with and help kill it in the world, we're going to go on a challenge where we're going to hold ourselves accountable to read one book every week and summarize it. I'll come back to what I mean by summarize it in a second. But the point of this is, I sat down and said, what books would I give to a mentee, someone that I'm mentoring, a Spartan that I'm helping? What are the books that I would give them if what they wanted at the end of it was a better life? What do we mean by better life? Your health is going to immediately, you're going to notice after we go through this challenge, your health will be better from the things we're going to have you read. And I mean that physically, I mean that emotionally, and I mean it spiritually too. Your health's going to increase. Your wealth is going to increase, especially when we get to this book right here. I don't know if the camera can capture what the book actually is, but if you can zoom in on that, your wealth is going to go up when you read this one. Your wealth is going to go up big time when you read this one. Your health will also, wow, if I add this one, this will probably be next year's book challenge. This one's going to make you make more money. This one will make you, help you. This is the one that helped me make a ton of money on social media. Like, this book alone may be responsible for a lot of what I've been able to pull off on social media. So health gets better, your finances get better, and then your relationships get better, right? This book will help you build relationships. I don't sit, the one up here that I'm pointing to that you can't see, but I can. That one's going to help you have a fantastic marriage, right? So if you want to have a better life and go through basically a crash course, if you could go to college for a year and at the end of it, you have a better life and you didn't have to spend any money but on the books that you had to read, which none of the books will cost. I think in this challenge, the most expensive book, and it's only one like it, is about $50. And I'll even show you ways where you can get it. I'll show you some tricks to where you can get it cheaper, because actually the book is way more expensive than that. I just know where to go to get the cheaper version, and then that's the $50 book. But some of the books are $2, right? But at $50 is a very small price to pay, because I'm telling you, the book that costs $50, which is right over here, is this book right here. This is the $50 book. If you understood the principles, in fact, I think I might even have the page dog-eared. Let's see, do I? Is this it? Oh, you want to know what to make all your shows about on social media if you want to get really awesome at it? Here you go. One analysis of 36 common plot lines showed most were defined by one of 4 themes: love, sex, personal threat, or threat to the protagonist's kin. Why do you think that is? There's a reason for it. There's a reason why most of your entertainment is focused on saving the world and saving the girl, or in some cases saving the guy. If you look at my most favorite video games of all time, they're usually women as the leads, which I think is a really interesting thing, that a good percentage of my favorite games of all time, in fact, my most favorite game of all time, at least as of today, and even the one that's going to take its place, are women as the leads. Maybe women are better at saving the world than we are. We should give them a shot. In short, attention and memory are highly selective. Humans are designed to notice and retrieve information that is most relevant to solving the specific adaptive problems they face. That's why no one's paying attention to your videos. You're not helping them solve a problem they care about, right? So like, if you could get the principles that are in this book, I mean, this book has taught me about some of the issues I've had with post-traumatic stress and dealing with being in combat. It talks about that. Like, these books are going to help you have a better life. And that's what the challenge is all about, is in 1 year, you'll be able to actually measure how better your life is in the areas of your health, your money, and the people you spend time with. And at the end of it, your overall happiness goes up. So if you want to be a part of this, oh, and by the way, for everybody that participates, we're giving out prizes for the folks that win the challenge. How do you win the challenge? You show up every week, you read the book, you come to our Discord server, which you can get to right over here. You go over to our Discord server, bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And all you do is come to our book club section. We have a book club section. And you just write up, hey, here's my takeaway. Sorry, I'm always knocking shit off my desk because there's so many wires in this damn office to make all this bullshit work. I was going to actually show you guys. Oh, and if you were on the show and I told you that the first book we're starting with is The Art of War, I lied. We're starting with a different book that I don't see on my shelf. Otherwise, I'd pull it out and show it to you. Ah, dang it. And countdown to Ryan making a joke about my phrasing of pull it out and show it to you. That he's probably writing that right now in the comment section. Anyway, the first book is a book called, you guys can, I'll just give it to you, you can write it down. The first book in the challenge is going to be a book called Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield. And the reason why I'm starting with that book is I believe that is the first mindset that needs to be conquered. And the person who is less successful than they wish to be, that is the primary mindset that's keeping you from going where you want to go. So we're going to start with that book, and then we're going to unleash the fury. And then we're going to have prizes for the people who win. We're having a custom bookmark made by our calligraphist, Brother Broken Suba. And then we're looking at second prize, I'm thinking of cash, and then third prize being like an Xbox One or a PlayStation 5, assuming I can even get my hands on that. You know, or maybe it'll be a Steam Deck by the time we get there because we're all playing PC games. We'll figure it out. But we're going to have all the prizes. If you would like to be a part of this challenge, and I really recommend that you do, because, hey, the only thing we're promising is that your life's going to get better because you didn't waste time reading books that you didn't need to read. We gave you all the best books that teach a lot of great stuff. And this is all the books I've used to build the stuff that I have. And I've got these books, like, for example, this book right here is in the challenge. This book was recommended by Kobe Bryant. So I'm like, if Kobe Bryant did what he did just off of this book, I'm reading that shit. And I'm telling you, like, 4 pages in the book, I'm like, oh, that's why Kobe Bryant was so amazing. Shit, I wish somebody would give me this book when I was a kid. I'd have been Kobe Bryant. So that's the idea. So here's how we get in the challenge, right? We're going to text the word books to the number 833-576-2460. There is a image of that right in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen right now that says, want to join my book club? Text books to 833-576-2460. All right, and once you do that, you'll be on, and even if you don't want to participate in the challenge, you'll be on my book list, and every week I send out a new book recommendation. The challenge officially starts January 10th. You will get the first email for the first book, or the first text, I'm sorry, not email. The text messages will always come out a week before the read of the book, or the week that you have to read and summarize the book is what I'm trying to say. So, for example, the first book that starts on January 10th is Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield. That means the text message would have come out 2 Sundays prior to that, right? So if it starts the 10th, that means this Sunday, you're going to be getting a text message from me that says, hey, our first book is coming up and it's going to be Turning Pro. Here's the link to go get it. And so you have a week to procure the book, have it show up at your house so that when we start reading on the 9th or the 10th, the 9th technically, when we start doing that, the book will be in your hand. You can just start reading it, do your summary, and then rock out. And I've tried to pick books that are mostly nonfiction. There are a couple fiction books in there, but the fiction books are pretty short, and several of them are children's books that you should be able to read in less than 20 minutes. But the principles in there I think are really, really valuable, despite the fact that they're kids' books. So you definitely want to be a part of that. It's going to make your life better. That's what I wanted to share with you. Let's get back to kicking ass, and then I'll share my other good news with you on our next break. Actually, we're close enough to the hour mark. Let me take a quick break and go fix something with my office. Oh, and check this out too. I got it so we can just rap with each other. I'll be right back. While you're waiting, go pick up some shirts or some bags. You can get a bag like this big yellow one on my thing with pictures on it of the images that we put on our shirts. So you can buy a t-shirt, you can buy a mouse pad or a coffee cup. Swag.brianchambers.com. Go support. We'll be back. Wrong button. All right. That's not the right button either, ho. Damn. There we are. The other thing I wanted to tell all of you wonderful humans about. Jesus, let's get that off the screen, shall we? Thank you. You can also text the word Spartan to the same number that I gave you for the book club. And that is my Spartan training program that I do via text message. So every week I send out a message too, whether it's inspiration or encouragement, that's focused on, hey, here is a thing, here is a slightly different perspective about life and business that if you apply this today or in your current situation, I bet you get different, better results than the way you're going at it, right? Or just something to encourage the heart. Like one of the ones I wrote actually today for next year, because I've been getting the program ready and, basically programming everything into it. And one of the things I talked about was this weird need that humans seem to have to be extraordinary, right? Because we see extraordinary people and then we want to be like them because they get a lot of attention and then they also get a lot of praise. The problem with being extraordinary is it's not sustainable, right? I would rather have consistent people in my life than extraordinary, like world beaters, because the consistent person that shows up every day, when you add up their life over time, it beats the performance and the production of the extraordinary person every time. So like I get so many people like, B, I can't start a podcast because I'm not fill in the blank person who I listen to. I'm like, yeah, neither are they. They've just done it long enough and consistent enough for an audience to catch on to what they're up to and like it enough to want to be around that person. And that capital, that wanting to be around you, is the capital upon which every business foundation is built. Everything you buy is meeting an emotional need, but the money you're giving is buying into the person who's selling the solution. You go to McDonald's to get that Big Mac because you have a lot of memories of eating Big Macs going back to your childhood. And when you eat, that dopamine gets released also when the sugar touches your tongue, because every item in the McDonald's menu has sugar in it except for 2 items. And one of those items I can almost guarantee you don't consume. So that sugar hits your system, you get that immediate dopamine. You're giving them your money because you trust them to bring you the joy you're looking for. Or the at least if not the joy, the exodus from pain. Right. So if you would like to join our Spartan mentorship program, I can put that on the screen for you too. That's this here. But more importantly, instead of texting books, and it doesn't matter if it's all caps, lowercase, it's not case sensitive. I've tested this myself. You would text the word Spartan to 833, dyslexia and brain that moves faster than my words. 833-576-2460. 833-576-2460. Text the word Spartan, and you can have weekly inspiration, encouragement, and leadership messages dumped into your inbox consistently for the next year to help you kill it. All right, let's get back to this thing. I think that's enough announcements, don't y'all? Let's get back to it. 1 time, 2 time. This mother... I can't with Ryan. Ryan is easily the funniest comedian that doesn't step on a stage ever. He's the funniest comedian that America knows nothing about. That's why I'm glad he's on our show, so that we can be the ones that make him famous. We'll be the ones that benefit from his greatness. Kaz is in the house. What's up, Kaz? Man, Kaz and Jolly, we got the whole old band back together. Let's see. Cup of unsweetened iced tea. So I believe the tea does have a semblance of... The 2 items in McDonald's, because I had to take a quiz on this because McDonald's used to be one of my tenants when I was in commercial real estate. I believe the 2 items in McDonald's menu that do not contain sugar are the coffee. And granted, this trivia was done... What year is this? 2021? I was doing this trivia back in... When I was doing commercial real estate, which would have been back in 2004. So... my trivia question's about 16 years old, so it may have changed, but back then it was the coffee and the hash browns are the only 2 things on the McDonald's menu that doesn't have sugar. Yep. Because French fries are sugar, so you can't take that. You can't say French fries because starch is just a not awesome version of basically sugar in the body. It's almost as worthless in some ways. But the coffee and the hash browns, I think, were the one. Because when I was guessing, I was like, the salad. They're like, nah, the salad has cranberries on it. All right, that's technically sugar. Yeah, and the hash browns are in way too much oil. And technically, you would say the hash browns are sugar, too, because they're made from the same thing as the French fries. But there you go. Or it may have been the one item on the menu that doesn't have sugar, and it was the coffee, because you have to add your own sugar to it. I think that might have been the trivia question. Yeah, pretty much. I'll take dry toast in the water. Dang, your pastor was 88? And dang, I'm sorry he passed away today, man. I am sorry about that. Hey guys, gang, are y'all down to throw up a prayer for our friend, is everybody here down tonight to pray for our friend T.I.? His pops is going through a hard time, man. Want to send some good energy his way. If you guys are down to pray with me, we'll do that at some point in the show as well, before we adjourn for tonight. Even if T.I. is not here and is left, we'll do it for him. This God's spirit does not require the people we're blessing to be present. I mean, if we're going to believe this guy is omnipresent, I think we can believe he can handle a prayer for the guy that's not here. Right? We're not going to limit God that bad, are we? Oh, he wasn't here, so the blessing didn't get him. Really? The dude that got all these planets spinning around in the fucking universe can figure out how to get a blessing to a guy who didn't make the meeting? Is that the God we're serving? Count me out of that shit. Like, if that's the God we're serving, tell me about this hell guy some more. What's he getting up to? He seems like he has more fun than God, so let's have a chat with his ass. Uh-oh. Yeah! Oh, we about to get into some fisticuffs. Alright, we're down. Yes, kick ass! Oh, I love a good ass whooping. Kick his ass all night. He ain't ready. Oh, we whooped his monkey ass. He's a monkey too, so that statement was appropriate. He's at least a troll. That's kind of like, it's like a big monkey, right? Aren't trolls and monkeys from the same phylum? Or is it phyla? Oh, again with the fat guy. What up, Santa? Woo! Oh, shit. I'll take care of the little guys, ladies. I'll take care of the perimeter. You take care of the big fella. Well, the big fella already dead. Wow, that was fun, man. We kicking ass in the village like the champagne of the world. You saw that? All that ass we was kicking. And I love that the cutscene was just a fight scene. Bless whoever programmed that's heart. He was like, you know, I heard this cat Brian on the internet, man. He's always bitching about this. We write shitty stories in these games. Make it like it's a cutscene and then immediately get it into a fight. He'll love that. You damn right he's gonna love that, Chin. Thanks for making that game for me, baby. I assume the guy that worked on his name is Chin. It's a common Chinese name. I'm just saying. Shit, I got a common name too. My name's Brian. That's as common as Chin. Josh says, my mom was hit hard by this most. He saw my pastor. Yeah, gee, of course she did. He's 88 years old. Jesus. That's hard, man. And for him to pass away in this situation, dude, that fucking sucks. But we'll throw him in the prayer. We'll throw you and your family and his family in there. We'll just have a joint prayer. Has anybody else got any prayer requests? Dead serious. Throw them in the comments and somebody on my team jot them down. I'll make sure I cover everyone. I am more, like, seriously, I'm not even, you know, let me take my joking glasses off. If you guys are comfortable with, you guys are having issues and you believe in the power of prayer and y'all want to have prayer requests and make that a part of what we do here, easy. I am totally cool with that. And for the folks that ain't down with prayer, all you got to do is bow your head and pretend you're watching an episode of, I don't know, whatever your Seinfeld. You don't have to participate. Woo! Scheiße. You can go your own way. Go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. I gotta bring that down. That is not in my range, bro. Better bring that shit down an octave or two. Damn, bro, you just gonna catch me right as I come out the show? Slice his ass, lady. All in his ass. There's another one coming. Grenade time. Grenade. Oh, she missed. And then I'm not paying attention. I'm getting my ass busted. Let's switch to the other form. Gangster style. I done found the chocolate chips, bitch.
都是些山精野怪。他们为何从
I'm
山
loving this town. More of this town. More of the kick-ass town.
阿兄采的这株是什么花呢？
Thank you, Jelly.
也叫
Always,
金银
man.
花
Thank you so much.
黄白相间的，真漂亮啊！
不止漂亮，忍冬性寒，能够清热解毒。对了，子旭，不如我们多采摘一些，带回守平。药力虽薄，但至少可以稍解病人的不适。
好，就这么办。
Was that the actual point of this quest that we came? Hey, get some. How cool is that? They're gonna let me get the rest too.
这样应该足够了。
Man, this soundtrack is on a. This is almost Persona level soundtrack. Have any of y'all played the Persona series and understand how fantastic those soundtracks are? Believe you me, we're going to play Persona, and I got Persona 3 and my PlayStation 3 working. I totally forgot about that. We could play Persona 3 FES, or I do have the hookup that lets me hook up my PSP to a device to capture it. We could play P3 Portable, which is the extended version, the most complete version of the game, which is also a collector's item, I believe, which is worth over $100 now. So glad I got my copy for $29.99 back when it came out. Hey guys, game collectors, please hear me, because a person gave me this advice not even really all that long ago, a couple years, and I never thought of it until I really got serious about collecting again. If you collect video games, let me give you the best piece of advice any game collector's ever given me. If the company Atlas releases a game, buy 2 copies of it. Yes, you will buy some that don't go up in value, but they'll retain a good... And buy 2 copies of it once it's discounted, unless it's a limited release or a super popular game. 2 copies, and keep one of them mother Fletchers in the plastic. My original copy of Persona 3, not even the good copy, the deluxe box that's the old version of the game, is worth more than all of the special edition stuff. Like, it's worth over $100. Just because it's rare, like they didn't print that many of them, and only a couple cats like me have them. So, if you collect video games, please do yourself a favor, and anytime the company Atlas, they're owned by Sega, so you can trust them. Anytime they make a game, buy 2 of them. Ooh, he blocked me. Man, that move doesn't do a terrible amount of damage. I need to be mindful of that when I'm fighting in the boss fights. Because I can mess around and get cut the hell up trying to pull that move off, and then it doesn't even really do that much damage, which that's not a complaint, just an observation. Kaz says, PlayStation 3 was a great system. I'm learning that, Kaz. I'm starting to learn, like, Jolly sent us, and I rage quit or whatever and bitched about it last night, but being serious for a second, like, this is a really innovative game that I wish Sony would have stuck with making. I mean, granted, this is obviously what becomes, I think, True Crime and then eventually becomes Sleeping Dogs, so I think they're all related. But, like, the concept of the fighting in this game was so, like, damn, first of all, how did nobody else think of that in 3D games? 2, how has nobody else tried to do it this way and just make it better? I say the same thing about Final Fantasy XII. The fact that there are no gambit systems in any other role-playing game, especially games like effing Star Ocean, It's baffling to me. And Tales of Arise should have. If you had the Gambit system in Tales of Arise, I'd still be playing. I'd put 400 hours into that game because I'd love the leveling and the combat so much. But there's some really cool stuff in here that I'm looking forward to getting back into finishing. Anyway. But yeah, like I'm learning that the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 did have great games. It's just I was so not into gaming that much at that era of my life, and the games that I was playing just weren't the ones that were suited to me. It's like now I'm experiencing Jet Li. Like I would have loved this game when I was like, if I had played this game back when I first bought a PS2 before I, started going on deployments and shit and didn't have time to game, I would have loved it. And I actually do like it. I was acting out and rage quitting or whatever because there are parts of the game that are frustrating. Like just not, but every game has that part. Final fight, the final boss, if you don't know what you're doing, that part is maddening, right? Or like the fight with the samurai in the boxing ring. Like if you don't know about positioning and how to get that dude not to strike you, that fight will drive you insane. So it's no different than the games I loved from my childhood. I just suck now because I don't play games that much. So looking forward to getting back into that. So I'm learning, man. Like I'm looking forward to playing Folklore. I'm really enjoying 3D Dot Game Heroes. I can't believe how much I'm enjoying this game, given how much I'm not a huge fan of Zelda. Anyway, rant over. Pocket says, I do for my husband, for acceptance and grace. I got you, Pocket. Cool. And Jolly's writing it down. Thank you, Jolly. Josh says, thanks, Brian Chambers. Unfortunately, I won't be around for the prayer since I will be retiring. That's okay. That's all right. The prayer will still get there. Also, yes, I have played a Persona game. I so far have played Persona 5, and it's one of my top... Dude, Persona 5 is fantastic. I'm maybe 2 hours into it. And, I love Persona games. And I have no idea why, because it makes me a hypocrite, kind of, but everybody's a hypocrite. Like, everything I bitch about in video games, Persona does some version of, but it's done so well, for whatever reason, I don't hate it. Like, I don't hate the cutscenes in Persona. I look forward to them. I look forward to the dialogue scenes. And maybe it's because they gamify the dialogue. That the dialogue's actually a game. It's, can I, using a guide and using my intuition, can I pick the right response to this lady who looks like my wife, who I want to marry in the game? Great. Like, that's fun. That simulating real life shit, to me, I enjoy that. For whatever reason, the Persona games should be some of my most hated role-playing games based on all the shit I bitch about. The dungeons are horrible. 5 makes them better, but 4 and 3's dungeons are just monotonous. 3's probably worse. But I don't care. I'm having so much fun playing this game and looking forward to the next couple of scenes where I'm going to hang out with my friends. Because you know what Persona is? Damn, look at this scenery. Look at the use of light and color. Where's Lisa at? Look at this, Lisa. It's beautiful. Okay, now it's gone. It was beautiful. I forgot what I was talking about. Persona. Yeah, all I know is they hit the right notes, and I love them. Atlas released Souls 2 originally, so they were. That's true. I totally forgot that my Demon's Souls copies are Atlas. Harley's in the house. What's up, homie? Well, how about that, Josh? That's good news. Jolly says, yeah, B, when you said intuitive controls, Rise was the first game that came to mind. I figured you would like it. Yeah, that game to the original God of War. Yeah. Rise is another game that doesn't suck. And I thought, I should play that with you guys. It's just a straightforward Roman brawler. There's kind of like puzzly parts to it, but they tell you what to do. It's not like it's a puzzle. If you do it wrong, you lose or whatever. All right, let's get this cutscene started.
你们看，这水看起来没什么特殊之处啊。
没错，但是手瓶的水却是被疫病污染了，再加上迁移来此的妖魔。
原来如此。
手瓶的上游，恐怕发生了什么事情。 不但污染了水源，使得手平一带疫病肆虐，而且还吓跑了当地的山精野怪。 迫使他们离开栖息地。
我也是这样想的。
上游不就是鹿林山吗？
没错，咱们进山时得小心了。
Yeah, Jolly. Okay, but it applies to both. Sorry, I thought you meant Rise, Son of Rome. But either way, the point is still the same. Rise to Honor. I was like, how did nobody? Because the game is obviously flawed. It has some challenges. Like I talked regularly about. The game should close the distance on your fight. Like when I flick the stick and I think I'm close enough to somebody, like the game should close the distance and then make the strike, because I just can't judge the depth perception. But I mean, this game was made in 2000 what? 2002 probably. Like they did the best they could with what they had. Like I'm shocked, and I'm actually shocked that Rise to Honor controls as well as it does. Like some of the special moves are a pain in the ass to pull off, like grappling people. I couldn't get to work in that boss fight that I'm stuck on. I'm convinced it's because I'm supposed to use her to kick all the guys, otherwise she keeps getting killed. But grabbing onto her is a pain in the ass, and then it drains your stamina so fast. So it's like, all right, I got to figure out the rhythm to this, but we'll figure it out. This is now they all cookie cutter Uncharted Last of Us type. Yeah, 100%, man. That's the challenge with Sony, man. Like, I'm realizing they actually did make some dope games back in the day. It's just, I did like Last of Us, but admittedly, that game got a pass because of the story. Because the gameplay is challenged. And I did a lot of exploring to make the gameplay easier, because you could just murk everybody in the face with flamethrowers. If you know, you level up enough and get enough of the resources, you can just murder everybody. And that started making the game fun, because I didn't have to feel like I was weak for most of it. Alright, this game just got really dark, but I want to make sure I'm not leaving any treasures behind before we ball out of here. I think this was the room with the big treasure, right? Okay, then we're good, man. We are good to hook.
是啊，没事的话，谁也不想离开自己家园。一般的山精野怪也是如此。
一般的，这么说来，也有些不太一般的吗？
这个，
就像鸢雏。
Yeah, they back kick ass.
从南海出发，飞到北海。一路上飞鱼同地。
Switch stance. Switch back to the wolf, son. I love the wolf.
再从北海飞回南海。
Yeah, that's the wolf.
不用一家一地，或者说，
Ooh, I missed. Ouch.
想不到此事也是相同的下场。
Watch that poison. Watch that poison.
我可没有鸢雏那种胸怀。我呢，不过是只吃枭，只求能顾好我的小老鼠就行。
This soundtrack got me,
小老
Jack.
鼠啊，
This smooth ass.
Just
Yeah, bring that shit. Slice up, lady. Grenades. There they go. Ah! And it goes right back to that smooth ass lounge music, just lounging. Mellow out, and just lounging. Lounging. Mellow out, and just lounging. Wrong. Side. Slide that hoe. Come on, baby. Hey, I'll take it. You miss the guy you're supposed to hit, kill somebody behind him. That's good enough. That's football, baby. So I do have some really big news on my front to share with all of you, but I can only share so much of it because none of this is finalized. But I can tell you this much. One of my lifelong dreams, pretty much, you know, as long as everything goes through and it goes down the way it's supposed to, one of my lifelong dreams pretty much just came true today. And I could not be more hype. And I'll tell you, I was joking with Miko. What led to this dream coming to pass, and I was talking to Ryan about it too, like, it wasn't, you know, all the work I did as a military officer or in music or in running people's companies, you know, or in ministry. Like, it wasn't like all this other stuff I did in my careers that led. It's literally my ability to amass attention on the internet led to this opportunity going down. So if you think the skill of being able to get millions of people to pay attention to you on the internet is one you shouldn't have, or anywhere, it doesn't have to be on the internet, I would advise you to think again. Now, I'm not saying you have to reach millions. You can reach hundreds and still live a baller ass life, right? I'm just saying the fact that I have reached millions, if not arguably, probably indirectly a billion people, led to this opportunity that just basically today I opened up my phone and it fell in my lap like gift wrap. Like, oh, remember that dream you talked about since basically one of your dreams got murdered? You remember you wanted to be a professional athlete and then that got shit all over because you were a coward and didn't develop the skill and didn't have the discipline to do it? Remember that dream that you fucked up? Yeah, here's a gift wrap version of the dream you came up with after that. Here, everything that you said you wanted. It was like God just lined up exactly. Like, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. We like this. Can you do this? So, like, and I was telling Ryan, I don't really get hyped for a lot of things because I've lived a life where the highs that I've had are so high and the lows that I've had are, in some cases, are so low that a lot of shit in life doesn't really faze me emotionally. Like, I don't get, like, I rant and bitch on these shows about video games, but that's for humor. Like, in real life, I don't really get, like, super hyped, like, yo, we're going to Disney World, or it real low. This made me scream out, fuck yeah, in my house. And then my son came running upstairs. What happened, Dad? And I said, well, if everything goes down like I think it will, I might be training some of your rivals here shortly. You know, and anyway, it's dream come true. That's how much I can tell you today. I can't really give you the details because I got to talk to these people before I start putting names on the internet and finalize everything. But just the encouragement to all of you is, please have a dream. If you want to hang around us, please have a dream. And this dream isn't, you know, become a trillionaire by the age of 30. Nothing silly like that. Like, if you heard what the dream was, it's kind of basic, but for me, it means a lot to my life. So please want something in your life and have the courage to do the things necessary to at least make the effort to make it happen. And that way, even if it doesn't happen exactly the way you're dreaming, you are going to get opportunities that taste better than the way you perceived the dream from the beginning anyway. Because I'm telling you right now, I think what I'm about to walk into, honestly, for me is going to be more fun than if I had gotten my professional athlete dream. I think this is going to be more fun. And it's going to be related to potentially helping make professional athletes. Yes! Fuck yeah. So anyway, thank you, God, for your grace and allowing me to have opportunities that I do not deserve. Thank you for being bigger and better than my smallness and badness. That would be my prayer to God tonight. And on that note, let's all join our faith together and pray for our friends here. I think we've got all our prayer requests in. I know Josh would like some prayer for his pastor who passed away today, unfortunately, from complications. One, from complications of being an almost 100-year-old person and COVID. So we're going to send prayers and comfort and peace that surpasses all understanding to all of the families. Josh is included involved in that. We're going to speak physical healing over Josh and over everybody that's been connected with them so their recovery can be speedy and they can get back to the work that God has for them to do. So that takes care of Josh. For Pocket, knowing the situation in her life, praying for grace, mercy, but not God's grace and mercy, because that's eternal and that's promised and that's hers. But the grace and mercy that she can give herself to get to a place of acceptance with some of the decisions that she's made in life and other people have made in life for her have got her in a place where she is, and that's 100% okay. Right? God is still pleased with her and with all the other people in this place and with what's going on right now. And so what we're going to pray for Pocket is the acceptance that the situation is the situation, and that Scripture teaches us that God works all things, even some of the bad things that happen. He's going to work through that to make a good outcome at the end. And so that's our prayer for Pocket. And for our guy T.I., who's, I think it was his pops, is having a hard time with COVID, because it was pops or uncle. I may have gotten the name wrong, but the family member that is currently dealing with the COVID situation and having to fight through cancer. We speak healing and wellness and wholeness over those people, and a speedy recovery and getting back to the life that they were destined to have and deserve. So we pray all these things. We thank you for them, Lord. In Jesus' name, thank you for blessing us. Thank you for protecting us, giving your angels charge over everybody listening to this stream, not just the specific people we're praying for. And we appreciate you showing your grace and allowing us the opportunity to have another day to live and serve others. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's go to work. Okay. Now, if anybody else has prayer requests during the show, I'm happy to get you to if we missed you. Don't worry. This isn't television, so it's not like, oh my God, we missed the segment. Now we can just make another segment. It's my show. Do what the fuck I want. All right. Thank you, Jolly. Thanks for posting the reminders. As I know I totally launched into that with no warning. And Jolly was right on that. I'm telling you. Jolly, you know who Jolly reminds me of? Straight up. Like a lot of the stuff he does for the show. He reminds me. So when I played football in college, I played on the intramural team. And so I was like, my main position was wide receiver and cornerback on the defense. So I led basically the defensive backs on defense and the wide receiver core on offense. But me and the starting quarterback would often switch because he was faster than me and I had a rocket arm. So there were plays where if we needed muscle, I was bigger than him. So there were plays where I would switch to quarterback and he would move to receiver. And it was one of two plays. I was either throwing a Hail Mary to Carlos, our quarterback / now wide receiver, because he's faster than every other human being I've ever seen on this planet. I swear to God, if he ran the 40, he runs a 4.1. Because I've raced against this guy. You know, and at my fastest, like, burning wheels off, fully grown human being, I probably tipped the top of 4.4 into the 4.5s. I ran really slow when I was in high school, but I got faster and trained over time as I got a little older. But I was either throwing a pass to him or my center, he was in the huddle and he called A, quarterback sneak on this play. And he would look at me, he's like, you're in it, quarterback, low, spread out, B, follow me. And Asa, my center, the guy who would snap me the ball, I'd call the huddle and be like, hey, here's the play, B, low, switch, B, follow me. That was the play. And all Asa would do is I'd say set hut, and Asa would lower his head because he was fucking huge, and he would bulldoze everybody in front of us, and I would just follow him until somebody tackled me. Or sometimes I was able to break away and turn it into something. Jolly reminds me of Asa, who just looks at me in the huddle and says, just follow me, motherfucker. I don't need all that play calling. Like that guy that just has your back and is black and shit. That's Jolly. Jolly just pulled an Asa right there. Thank you, Jolly. Looks like I stuck around long enough for the prayer and all. And it happened to be right. I was about to say goodbye. Well, bless you, Josh. I'm glad I got it in before you left, man. Or we got it in. I got to get better at that. It ain't about me. It's us. Take it easy, Josh. Have a great night. He said, I'm also fat. I guarantee you, no matter how fat you think you are probably not as big as Asa. That mother effer, and one of the most gentle murderers I've ever met.
你就是太史昭。
正是，大人有何指
So,
教？
you probably got 6-pack abs
邻居
compared
的
to
事
Ace.
干得不错。圣公大人已经准你们入山了，去吧。
大人，关于疫病，
好了好了，退下吧。
Oh, they're trying to impede our progress to help the
Come on.
people, Jesus. We
请
gotta
去和
help them
文书打
anyway.
招呼。
All right, none of that is breakable. Let's keep moving to the next map marker.
3位是要上山了，希望此行能有所获。
也多谢文书替我们引荐将军。
你们要走了吗？不再多待一会儿？
哎，我以为你们跟文书将军会一起留下来的，还有很多人都病着。
别担心，圣公将军在准备迁村了，让大家搬到更好的地方，这样生病的人也会好起来的。
可是，将军不会带我们走的。
是啊，他总嫌我们。
要不这样，等我们办完了事，一定再回来和你们一块玩。
真的，可不能说谎。
我们都会回来的，所以你们要乖乖的哦。没问题。
保民而望，莫之能御。相信圣公定会明白。
此事还得麻烦文书多多劝说。
自当竭力。
Yeah! Let's kick ass all night and keep getting these trophies home. But honestly, if you're American, you're probably bigger than all the folks in Asia. That's probably not wrong. Yeah, Asa is definitely bigger than most of the folks in Asia. That's for damn sure. I guess, but technically, you're right. So am I. So is everybody. Oh, man.
果然，刘圣公没打算处理疫病的问题。
是啊，妖魔一出，却连一面都见不到。
自私的家伙，比起文书将军，真是差劲。
嗨，上山去找夏老张吧，也不知道他到了没有。若有余力，顺便查查上游发生了什么事情。
So yeah, once we finalize everything, I'll dedicate one of these streams to telling you all what dream just came true for me. It's gonna be fun as hell too, man. My God. Whoo! To be back in those trenches, man, that's gonna be something else. Yeah, and just really wanted to thank you all too, because if it weren't for you all and me doing what I do, I never would have got the opportunity. So thank you to those of you in the movement for just being my inspiration, man. Appreciate y'all. That's really why I wanted to tell you was thanks.
子胥，你们这么努力的想修复机关，是跟香儿有关吗？
你怎么？香儿跟你说了吗？
没有，不过在上山的时候就有所察觉了。后来你们又说香儿需要恢复什么的。
啊，那时候抱了红姐姐一下，是不是冰冰凉凉的，吓着你了？
才没有，香儿的拥抱非常温暖。我只是有些讶异，不知道你发生过什么事情。
红姐姐。
Oh, whoa, 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 Billy, don't you dare. And did we get everybody's favorite games list.
不闪变
I
越发
wanted to
严
make
重。
sure we were doing that with everyone,
看来
like,
你
because
运气
I'm trying to capture
确实
everybody's
有用。
favorite games, so I
这一
can
路
cherry
上
pick
怎么都没见到妖魔？
out of those lists.
确实，虽然
Sorry,
有不少妖魔
indigestion.
逃到了邻居，但这儿一头也未见，颇不寻常。
Oh man, I had Bonchon
他
chicken
们
tonight. That is
也在躲避一兵，
getting after it.
还是
Wasn't the greatest Bonchon chicken though. I'm not the biggest fan of Bonchon. When they're on, they're pretty good, but when they're off, I'm good. But yeah, I want to make sure I'm capturing all of y'all's favorite games so I can add those games to the show, especially like your favorite nostalgic games from like childhood or retro, or even if it's a game you played recently and you just love it. Like, for example, everybody has agreed that Death Stranding should be streamed again, or at least everyone that I've spoken to, because I love that game, and everybody, like, that was the most, I think, that game had everybody's emotional buy-in, because just the story in that game is so true to what we're all living through now. And it's just that game, Kojima, I think, maybe doesn't have really an idea of just how timely and appropriate that game was for where our world is at. And just for that to be like, the game is, hey, save the world, but in a way more practical, less Star Wars-y way. Like, save the world by just doing your fucking job the best you can. Doing what God gave you and doing the best you can with it. You will essentially save the world, because if we're all doing that collectively, come on, man. You guys read the Bible where they talked about that tower in Babel that never got built, right? But they were all linked together. What did God say in that story? And that myth, what did God say about the people? Do you guys remember? Basically, there's a meeting in heaven in this myth where mankind has linked together to build this tower to lead up to the heavens. And literally in that story, God, unless I misread it, God says, hey, we need to go down there and fuck them up because they're going to succeed. Mankind, when they're united, you can't stop them. Why do you think so much of media and advertisers are about splitting us apart? Because when we're in contention with each other, we're scared and we're acquisitive, which means we like to buy things that we associate with survival. And you don't think that in an economy that runs on consumers, somebody's not going to do the dishonest thing and create emotional situations where you need to be spending money? I.e. the news scaring you half to death every night so that your dick gets soft and you need Viagra? Or whatever lady Viagra is. I'm sure they got, AARP commercials or something for the ladies. Like, look at who advertises on the shows you watch, and that will tell you who paid for the show and who, like, this is why the show exists. Like, it's to sell these ads. So think about it. If the shows you watch show you ads that you find morally reprehensible, the show is probably, and I'm not saying my morality is right, your morality. I'm just saying whatever you value in life, if the commercials you're seeing are companies that go against your values, the show you're watching probably isn't all for your values. Because the people who are paying for it don't agree with it. And that, there's obviously can be exceptions to that rule. We don't all have to agree on everything. But just think about those things. Chocolate and strawberries leads to Lady Viagra. Indeed. Especially the chocolate part of that equation. Behold, they are become like us. Thank you, sir. Somebody's knowledge of the Old Testament is turned on. Let's see. Kaz says, I think I gave you a list of 3 games last time. Ratchet and Clank, A Crack and Time. Yes, you did. In fact, let me double check. I'm pretty sure I've got yours written down. I keep notes on a lot of this stuff. So, Kaz, I have Ratchet, Resistance 3, and 13 Sentinels. And your sentence says, Ratchet, A Crack and Time, Resistance 3, and 13 Sentinels. Oh, Aegis Rim. Oh, no, Aegis Rim is the subtitle. Death Stranding was on my list, but I left it off since you played it. Yeah, we're going to play. I almost bought a PlayStation 5 on the day before Christmas Eve. But, GameStop was trying to price gouge with, oh, you have to buy it in a bundle and get all this other crap that you don't want. So I was like, damn it. Lisa says, power outage here in CA. I'm catching hiccups of the stream due to bad service, but from what I gather, amazing things are happening for B. Praise the Lord. Yes, ma'am, they are. Thank you for your prayers and for your love. God bless you. And yeah, hopefully your internet and power comes back on. Pocket Thoughts yells out, yeah, butt cheeks. And for everybody who's watching the show after the fact or live, that was one of our ladies that yelled that out. So if you're wondering the kind of audience you fell into, these are my people. I couldn't be more proud of them. When a woman yells, yay, butt cheeks on a show, I have won life. Can we turn the show off now? I can retire. Let's shut it down. That quote right there means I won everything I was trying to do at life. How do we turn off Earth? Where's the button? Just shut this shit down and let's go to bed. Well, so Jolly, the way I interpret the myth is this way, right? So if Earth has been here 24 billion years, and if Genesis chapter 1 is accurate, that we were made in God's image, it then stands to reason. It takes a couple billion years for a human or one of God's creation to become exactly like him, like we evolve, right? So you can look at evolution and spiritual evolution as similar things, right? Biological and spiritual. So it just takes us a very, very, very long time to become like the entity that created everything, right? And I think that's reasonable if any of these things are true. What I think the myth of the tower is, mankind wasn't ready to get where they were trying to go, but because we're such a powerful force when we unite, even when we're doing something wrong, we can't be stopped because of the power that God's put in us. So it's more like you're gonna build a tower to a place that you don't have the character to live. So God stopping the tower from being built was mercy. The same like where if you pray to win the lottery and you lose, God did you a favor by saying no. Because most people that win the lottery end up worse off, dead, jail, or more poor. Because they don't have the character. Like, if you don't have the character to manage $50,000 a year, I can tell you right now, you do not have the character to manage $50 billion a year. You just don't. And so we have to go through the process of life to understand things. And that's why the Bible speaks all the time of, in all you're getting, get understanding. Because it's the key to everything you want is in the way you understand things. Right? So that's the way, I'm not challenging you. I'm just adding to what you're saying. The way I interpret it is God saying, hey, I appreciate what you're trying to do. I love it. You're not ready for this part yet. Keep working. Keep growing. Keep struggling. Because struggle is where all the good comes from. Don't resent your struggle. It's where all your greatness comes from. Lean into that shit. Now, don't turn it into suffering. The suffering part of struggle should always be optional. Right? But the struggle is always mandatory if you want to win. Anyway, rant over.
阿兄，你看，他被妖魔包围了。
慢着，谋定而后动，不要莽撞。
那是墨家的升降机关，启动后便会往下。
好，我来拦住妖魔。红儿，你去启动机关；仙儿，你负责保护夏老丈，把妖魔带走，危机自然解除。
阿兄，这样会不会太过冒险？
别担心，我有后手。
好，
走。
He says, so should I pray to Satan for them lotto numbers? Oh, that's great. That was a good one. I have no idea what's going on in this game, but I'm enjoying it. Like, she just fixed an elevator. We're killing demons. I don't know what's happening. Oh, whoa, I can get in that one. Hey there, ho, why did you run away from me? A pimp is your protection. A pimp is your way. A pimp has your best interest at heart. Don't you believe? Oh. Oh, a pimp will always come through for you.
成了。
Kick ass.
佛儿，你先上
The
去。
old elevator kick ass scene. I love that scene. Oh, word? Switch up. That's her job description. That's not. Well, first of all, this is a. Why'd you assume it was a lady? I pimp men in my songs. So first of all, no. It's just his job description. It's not an assassination of his character. He's a hoe. He hoes. Just calling it, just talking about his job and what he does isn't hateful, right? I mean, if you hoeing and somebody calls you a hoe, they're just talking about what you do. It's not it's not his identity. Being a hoe is not what he wanted to be when he grew up. He's just hoeing. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. Jolly says, yeah, that's what I said. They weren't ready. Don't wander beyond your universe. Yeah. Good call, man. I like the way you said it. I likes the way you said it, man. It's good shizzle in there. All right, so am I going up or I'm going through first. There's got to be a treasure chest back here. The designers ain't going to not put a treasure chest back here because the designers of this game actually like people that play their games. I feel like the designers at this studio, and damn it, I said it, I was not going to do another one of these videos where I didn't know the damn studio we're talking about, and here I am. And I did look this up, I just forgot. Maximum Games. And Domo is the developer. So Domo and Maximum Games, I think they actually like video game players. They don't hate all of us and want us to suffer. Oh man, I also haven't really openly discussed my hold on, let me pull this plug. I think I need more time to think about it and evaluate what I saw and maybe take another look at it, but I'm pretty sure me and my family are done with Activision. I was watching a stream of my son. This is going to be a little somber, so forgive me for taking the mood down a bit just to get this out. I was watching my son do a stream of whichever one of these Call of Duties has the Battle Royale. And he was in a fight with a guy, and the guy was down, and he was crawling around basically begging for his life. And then my son proceeded, because this is part of the game, to go up behind the guy and put two in his head while he was begging for his life. It was a literal cold-blooded assassination in this game. Like, that's a fucking war crime that this game is asking kids to conduct. And it's just cavalier and casual. Like, I'm okay with video games having heinous shit in it. But if my kids are playing a game where an assassination like that's going down, first of all, I typically make them avoid that type of shit. Because one, I didn't know Call of Duty had resorted to doing fucking cold-blooded assassinations in their games. Sorry, they need to talk. Hey, you know what? Fuck them. This is more important. Shut them the fuck up for a second. So, when I saw that, I just went to my son and I said, hey man, this is over. I don't want you playing that shit anymore. Like, I was triggered by it. Like, it's one thing for there to be heinous things in a video game. I could argue, mild spoilers ahead for The Last of Us if you haven't played it and you plan to. In The Last of Us, you are playing the character of a person who is not a very good person. But the game gives you a reason why he's not a good person and makes you feel the weight of some of the shitty choices that the game has you make. That you're in no control over, the game's making the choices for you, which I like. I like a game that if you're going to tell me a story, you tell the story. Don't make me be a part of it. Otherwise, let me make my own story and stop fucking talking to me because I'm more imaginative than you. For me. So anyway, like I can live with the fact that Joel in The Last of Us is basically a piece of shit. And that's what you have to face at the end of that experience. But the game forces you to face it. Like, these things that I did come at a cost, right? In this game, and the game forces you to see that. Like, it comes at an emotional cost. There's no emotional cost. And then Call of Duty goes as far as to showing you the cutscene of the fucking assassination. The fact that cancel culture and all these people who are fucking professionally offended on the internet haven't said shit about that, while you're upset about a person saying a word that you don't like for 5 seconds, it just shows me that all the shit you're mad about is narcissism. You're just mad professionally because it makes you feel like you have a sense of purpose, and you're not actually mad for the sense of justice, right? Or you could just be unaware that these things are happening. But the fact that that was put into the game legally, I'm still having trouble with how that got past humans. That, like, how did the rating system people say, hey, is that a cold-blooded assassin? Is that a war crime that you just had this guy do? Are we going to put some story behind that as to why they're doing war crimes and make the player hold the player fucking accountable for the action is my point. I don't want to censor video games. That's not the message here. But my point is, you better fucking hold the player accountable for carrying out that assassination. Because like it or not, when we do things in virtual space, our brains, aside from the little part of our brain that's actually conscious, right, this neocortex, doesn't really know the difference between a simulation and real life. So every time I take somebody's life, if I did that in real life, it would take a piece of my soul away from me. Because you have to be cold and callous to be able to do that, right? Like, I could not cold-blooded assassinate even a guy that was trying to kill me. I treated people in war who were trying to kill me better than that game treats humans. So I can't fathom, first of all, how that game got made, how nobody said anything about that, how the fucking ratings people, they're clearly full of shit because that shit's in the game. I don't get it. I don't get what the fuck the world is going on about, but Activision is fucking done. For the most part in our family.
气效一曲大名。难道师父没教过你这个？师妹为要感情用事，坏了大事。
He says your use of hoe is a noun and a pronoun. That's wonderful. Oh, that's great.
红儿叫他师兄，李军也是墨者，难道他们是同门？是了，那柄机关说，除了墨者，又有谁能造出这样的武器？我早该想到的。
Yeah, like the fact that Call of Duty got away with putting that in it, like Activision's fucking done. I told my son, listen, if you have Activision games that you like playing, I'm okay with that. We're not going to do some weird thing where you can't play the games you love, but you're not playing that shit anymore. That's over. Don't even stream that fucking game. I said, and everything Activision makes from here on out, unless it's fucking Tony Hawk, can eat a dick. First of all, I don't really like Call of Duty that much anyway. I guess my bias should be showing. I don't care for the game as it is. I think it's a fucking overhyped laser tag game. But a lot of people love it. And I'm not okay with if you're an adult and you like going around virtually assassinating people in the back of the head, go nuts. But when my kids get access to that shit, and it's on me, I'm not blaming Activision that my kid got access to that. My kid got access to that because I allowed it. I take responsibility for that. But I would like Activision to maybe think about the kids that are playing their games and say, hey, we know for a fucking fact we're doing psychological damage to these kids. Because we hire clinical engineers to fucking engineer these games to play on the way people's brains work. So you know what you're up to. You just are okay with it. I can't get behind that shit. Fuck them. They don't need to, I'm thinking about the letter they sent me with a thank you. I'm kind of like, I'm going to send that letter. And, I don't want to hate the people who work there because it's not Activision, the people who work there. It's the leadership. Specifically the ones who see bottom line, we can get dollars. We don't have to give a fuck about the humans that play our shit as long as this money keeps coming in. That's who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about these developers and designers. Now, I know I make fun of designers on this show, but that's for fun. I know these people work crazy hours and have to not be with their families and they get treated damn near like slaves in some of these cases. I got that. Respect. It's impossible to make a good video game. I'm not talking about them. It isn't the designer's fault that the publisher let that shit ride. So anyway, I was furious. It took everything I had in me to not start screaming because it was like, well, I'm not mad at my son. It's not his fault. It's my fault for letting this shit go down. But fuck, why? I was angry that my son got exposed to that shit. Anyway, fuck him.
那是人类的园林吗？
帝君这群混账东西，竟然拿人类的园林来吸引妖魔，
这怎么回事？
我先上山来等你们的时候，
是用那个机关平台上来的吗？
对，小丫头别插嘴。
哦，
我上来以后，发现妖魔的状态很奇怪，一个一个都像失了魂似的，在这个附魂牢附近游走。我感觉这玩意儿不对劲，试着拆了它。没想到我才刚让它停止运作，妖魔就纷纷醒来攻击我。再后来，你们就到了。
你怎么知道这是李军做的？
除了李军，还有谁会鼓捣这玩意儿？你吗？
其实你很擅长机关术，也对李军了如指掌。你和他们究竟是什么关系？
拿去。高阳遗迹的大门早就被反锁了，要想进去，只能走小路。我把位置标记在地图上了，你自己看吧。至于其他问题，要是你们能活着出来，再来玉水问我。
Uh-oh. Hey, Mount Lulin. We made it. All right, Kaz says...
地图到手了，
oh.
地点也标示得很清。
They still got talking to do.
但是
Damn, I was just level 19. When did I level up to 23?
可以信任吗？
I think I need to
这
spend
老
some
张
skill
感觉不
points.
是坏人，也许他有些难言之隐吧。
也未必只有坏人才会做坏事。红儿，你怎么看？
我觉得，他可能是我们商漠的前辈吧，
哦，
只是他没有承认。
Okay, is everybody done chit-chatting? Can I read the comments now? Good. All right. Like the scale of this game, too. The scale of the art, rather. Kaz says, I hated the ending of The Last of Us, and the fact that the part I hated was the sequel hook. Yeah. I kind of instinctively knew that the sequel was going to tie that back in, so I avoided the sequel. I liked the ending of The Last of Us because... I just, like, it forced me to face, I probably would have done this too. Like, I had to get to the end and be like, what thing would I have done? And it's like, yeah, I think I'm a piece of shit too. Like, it forced me to face the part of me that's like, I don't think I'm not turning this young child over to save these idiots. Like, I'm gonna save her, we're out of here. The fact that you had to murder the guy didn't make a lot of sense. Like, I guess because they wanted you to feel the weight of your decisions, but he could have totally just knocked the guy out, you're right. But I liked that because what the storytellers are trying to make you face is that this dude is actually a piece of shit. And the actual ending of the game, like basically the conversation that happens, it's like, holy shit. And so what frustrated me about the sequel was, don't make a sequel to that. Let it end like Total Recall, where all of us just talk about what could have become. Like, let the player and the story consumer find their own ending. Don't try to... And then the sequel came, and I was like, of course there's a sequel because there's money to be made. But there's no way they don't run into a situation like The Matrix, where it's like, you struck gold, leave it alone. Don't you dare make a sequel to this because you can't top it. And then they did. So, but I do get where you're coming from with the... Like, it forces you to do what you do. And it's like, yeah, there's other options. But the game didn't give them to you. Let's see, Jolly says, in Modern Warfare, they torture you. They waterboard the camera, kill your fellow soldier in front of you, and interrogate you. They profit on vets' horror stories. Yeah. Unfortunately. But, you know, sensationalism sells, man. There's kids all over the world that'll never shoulder a rifle, who get the thrill of shouldering a rifle because they get to do it in a fake-ass video game. And I'm not necessarily against that, but it's like, just if you're going to put shit like that in the game, force the player to come to grips with it and be accountable emotionally. Otherwise, you're doing damage to the player, and that's unethical. You know, I think there should be a fiduciary duty that you're creating essentially a cure to anxiety. That's what video games are mostly used for. Do no harm. Be like a doctor. Yeah, I never played Modern Warfare 2, but I heard about the shooting up the airport scene. It's sensationalism sells, man. It's why, like, the stuff you guys are describing is exactly why I don't like things like Game of Thrones. Because it's like, I don't like fucking soap operas. Drama just for the sake of how dramatic can we make this? Fuck out of here. I'm good with your caricaturized stories. Yeah, they should have made the sequel be entirely the other character. I agree. And when I heard that who we're talking about was in the sequel, it actually pissed me off. I'm like, you should have taken care of that as a... Like, it should be a cutscene that handles that, and then you get into the game and we don't talk about that anymore. I think that's about the only way they could have salvaged this. And I haven't played it yet either. I have it. I just haven't. It's like, I don't... Maybe one day I'll get around to playing it again, but it'll get remastered 17 more times on new consoles, so probably wait till that happens. And then maybe they'll fix the controls when they remaster it and make it not such a clumsy mess. Oh, Jolly said the new Matrix was trash. Oh, no. I was kind of holding out hope that they were going to do what Matrix 2, what I thought Matrix 2 should have been. Let's see. Cass says, I actively avoid games where you're shooting people usually. Me too. I'm not a fan of first-person shooters. I never really have been. Like, Duke Nukem was fun because you were shooting aliens in a weird place that gave you a jetpack. That game is just as much a freaking sandbox game as it is a shooter. Albeit a small sandbox. Yeah, I'm the same. First-person shooters are not really my jam. That Matrix movie was like, let's get cosplayers to make this movie and also throw in PC shit and women empowerment. Also, only one of the Wachowski sisters worked on it. Wachowski, sorry. I'm reading your shit. Yeah, well, but, you know, Hollywood requires the PC shit at this point. Because, like, make no mistake, Jolly, you're in show business. You know this happens because you've probably sat in on some of the meetings. When a movie's being made and they're discussing the finer points of it, like, hey, we're going to greenlight this. There are a group of people that get together, and, like, this actually happened. I know a story from a person who worked on one of the sequels to the movie Benji that did end up happening, but not the way it was supposed to. He left the project because it was a Benji sequel, for Christ's sakes, this lovable dog, and literally the production people were saying, okay, we need to add this many sexual innuendos. Like, they had it down to quantitative data. There needs to be this many. There needs to be 4 more sexual innuendo scenes, 6 more scenes where the F word is used. Like, they literally had a formula to manipulating the audience into liking the movie with quantitative data. And by the way, this was 20 years ago. I'm not talking new shit. So it's like, that's the shit that, like, that PC shit is programmed into the movie because somebody somewhere believes there's an economic benefit to it. It's not about morality. It has nothing to do with someone trying to make a message. It's literally, let's try to make this shit as possibly vanilla as we can to appease the most amount of people to get these mouth-breathing, fat-ass Americans into a theater somewhere where they'll watch our shitty movie and pay us. You know? That's why I don't watch a lot of movies, because I know that's how they're fucking made and it's going to be trash. Same thing with video games. Wait. Where did it? What the heck? How did I miss that? So if it wasn't this way, is it this? Ah, okay. I didn't realize I could do that. Sacagawea. Oh, that's not one of the campfires where I can rest up and save and all that. Oh, yeah. Look how beautiful that is down there, boy. Who's the they you're talking about in that example, Jolly? You said you don't think the studio made them do it. You think they forced them. Who's the they you're talking about? Who's the they that's forcing people? I love how simple these maps are. I really, really like that. Oh, he's dead in the ass. Whoops. I didn't know some ledges you can walk off, some you can't. That's some NES level type. What's that game, Castle of Blickenstein, where some ledges you can walk off, some you can't? That game's terrible. They meaning Warner Brothers to force the sisters. Yeah. Okay. Got you. Okay. I'll buy that. Yeah, Warner Brothers would definitely benefit from the economic interest, so makes sense. Kaz says, I still like video games, but the only big budget ones I play anymore are the Sony and Atlas ones. But I barely watch movies anymore. I'm kind of the same. Man. Alright, so I gotta do this whole thing over again. Or this will be a cool thing to see. Did the treasure chests I picked up, are they still open or do I have to redo them? So I can't fall off this ledge, and I can't fall off this ledge. But that ledge where I just was, you could fall. Oh man, that bonchon chicken. Oof, I didn't even eat that much of it. But I also don't eat a lot of fried food, so maybe that has something to do with it. Nope. Gotta do it again. That's possible, Johnny. But the only challenge is, like, when I hear the PC talk, it's never coming from the people whom the PC actions are designed to protect. You feel me on that? Like, none of my friends in those worlds, right, are talking about, hey, my biggest problem is the words people are saying or people being PC at work. It's like, my biggest problem is trying to wrestle with, I thought I was this person my whole life and now I'm this person over here. And that's tough sledding for anybody. There's a lot of ego death involved psychologically there. So it's like, their biggest issues aren't, like, certainly being abused and being bullied and tortured for what you are. Yeah, we definitely don't want that. But the PC shit, to me, it has nothing to do with that from what I can see. The PC shit is all economically driven. It's all, let's keep people stupid and believing in dumb shit so that we can keep selling them solutions to problems they don't have. And I can't prove that, but that's just what it smells like. And I've been hanging out with humans a long time, man. They're all cowards. They all do acquisitive shit like that. Like, I wouldn't put it past most of the humans I've come in contact with to treat other humans in some weird, manipulative way. This is a really interesting bridge because I could fall right off of that and that'd be a wrap and it would be easy to do it. Alright, can I actually save when I'm on this screen? Nope. But I can load it, but I can't save it would seem. Pocket Thought says, I know what we are capable of, and it's some powerful shit, but holding leadership positions probably not. Oh, okay, I think I missed something here. Movies are dead. Unpopular opinions from Pocket Thoughts. And so for the people hearing me read this, this is a woman saying this. Women should not hold important positions. Yes, there are some that could, but the cost is too high for quote-unquote women to access those positions in general. I will have to vehemently disagree with you. I would submit to you that the women you've run into, if you believe that, just suck, and you haven't been around the awesome ones. I will tell you to this day, the most effective, best leader I've ever worked for in a very important position in a very powerful company was a woman. She taught me more about business than probably anybody else before her. So I would imagine that your experiences have it puts you in positions where your observations lead you to believe, hey, what I'm seeing down here, this ain't too good. Now, I'll tell you, Pocket, when you're talking about leadership, let me help you. Most men fucking suck at leadership too. Period. Most people suck at leadership because they're not taught to do it properly. It's not a gender thing. Most of the male leaders I wouldn't follow to a picnic, let alone to some important mission. In fact, I've had that problem less with women leaders. Maybe that's because I've been around more men in my travels. But it's just everybody sucks at leadership because they don't spend time learning and train. Like, I was trained as a leader for 5 years before I ever led anything. Like, actually trained in the woods being shot at with different scenarios. Hey, today, Bryant, you and your team are going to go take out a fucking drug stash house. All right, here is the location. Here are the coordinates to it. Tell me your plan to take your team to go kill these people. Like, I was in situations like that when I was 19 years old, 20 years old, having to think through, okay, how are we going to hit the drug house? How are we going to kill the bad guys? And if there's any good guys there, because it's a fucking drug house, we can assume there's civilians there. How do we deal with the civilians? How do we kill bad guys without hurting civilians? How do we get the evidence and the intel that we're trying to grab, right? Leaders have to be trained in this horse shit that humans who've never held a leadership position, that leaders are born. Fuck you. They are not born. They are trained arduously to be good at what they do. That's like saying professional basketball players aren't trained, they're born. Michael Jordan was just born. Michael Jordan got cut from his basketball team his second year trying to play. The fuck out of here. He had to learn. And when he got to the NBA, they told him he wasn't good enough. And now he's the best guy that's ever played. Why? Because he outworked everybody. And have shit to do with his talent. So, I don't know if I'm right, Pocket. I would just say my experiences have shown me that what you're saying is not correct from my world. Yeah, but Turbo, the key in your sentence there was if she keeps accepting. That means she is betraying the leader inside of her. That means she has a leadership flaw. Again, not a great leader. The good leader wouldn't accept that. You know, and yes, the good leader's obvious. And ladies, you got to take into account, you like some of the books I'm going to have you all read in this book challenge are going to explain to you why women, for example, have a harder time psychologically in a workplace. And it's not just sexism, it's understanding the underlying biological tendencies that lead to sexist type behaviors. And when you understand those, when you understand your problem intimately, you can actually work to fix it. All right, let me take a quick break. I'll be back with y'all in a second. This is a great conversation. Keep it going, y'all. I'm loving it. Yeah, Pocket, in the Army, we have a saying that no soldier is untrainable. Right? So man, woman, other, doesn't matter. If you have the will to win, you can essentially be trained to do anything. Now, yeah, there are certain things that being a man make easier. For example, people are more psychologically and emotionally inclined to follow men because we've been conditioned to do so for thousands of years, right? So it is inherently harder to lead as a woman, but I would submit to you that that's not... I definitely would say in my observations, your assessment that it's harder for a woman to lead is accurate, especially if that woman's leading men. That can get very complicated, especially if those men are insecure and immature professionally or personally. So women do have a harder time leading, but there are traits that they bring to the table that are extremely valuable when those women are good leaders. Right. So, yes, you have a harder time doing it. But as with most things in the universe, when we start looking at physics and E equals MC squared, if it is harder for you to do a thing, then it demands that the benefits of you doing it then would be greater than the person who has an easier time. Right. So I would just encourage you with, yes, you're probably going to have a harder time leading than most of the men you know. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Right, and I saw you guys talking about this distinction between being logical and emotional. We're all highly emotional. Every human is highly emotional. Even hyper-rational people like me are still more emotion than logic, right? It's that as women, you grew up in a society where your emotions were merited. I grew up in a society where having emotions was a sign of weakness. Don't cry, Bryant. That shows that you're weak. Rub some dirt on, right? So it's not that men are less emotional. It's that we live in societies where showing emotion, we are usually taught, is a sign of weakness. So we still feel all the emotions you women feel. We just learn to suppress them, oftentimes in ways that are unhealthy. So no, I would say actually your emotions as women can actually empathetically make you better leaders than men when you have the proper training to do so. So there's yin to the yang always, balance in everything. So yeah, don't fall into the trap that any of you are highly logical. You're all highly emotional animals, all of us. Like I score the lowest out of all the people I know in emotionality psychologically, and I'm still an emotional animal. Doesn't matter. Emotions govern everything you do. There is no logic in the decisions you make. You make your decisions emotionally, and then you back them up with logic. And so the deception in all of our minds, I'm very logical. No, you're not. You had an emotional need that you met by taking action, and then you used reason to back up the why you made the decision. But the why you made the decision is you had an emotional need that required it. So don't fall into the trap of thinking that, yes, some people are definitely more comfortable displaying their emotions and like to live in their emotions more than others. And that can be very detrimental in a leadership situation. I've told the story where we had to, unfortunately, my team had to take somebody out that was trying to kill us, and it messed up the guy who did it. In that moment, he doesn't have time to feel that shit. I've got to delete the feelings he's having and get his head focused back on the fact that there's still people trying to kill us, right? In that moment, I need him to not go into his emotions. But don't think for a second that he wasn't feeling them. He was physically shaking and unable to hold his weapon after he did it. That's not a woman. That's a dude, right? We're all emotional, gang. Let's get it. Oh, don't tell me they hid a cool treasure behind a puzzle that I can't skip. Oh, don't do that to me, Jesus. Let's see what these do. F.A.O. Bada. Guess at some point I should probably let you guys see the game, right? Charlie. Oh God, yes, yes, yes. Let the hate flow through you. Let's see. Turbo says yes, B, and thank you for encouragement to do all we can do as you always do for the group. Yeah, my honor. You guys have no idea. This is a privilege. No, bitches, don't do the thing. Oh, fuck. He's gonna do it. He's gonna walk all the way back because he's a whore. Crying out loud. You hit one wrong button and you're effed. Did the door close after I did that? I guess not, so I'm okay for now. What was I talking about before the game pissed me off? Yeah, no, you guys have no idea. It's a privilege for me to be able to come here and share these things with you guys. It's an honor to me, so I appreciate you guys being willing to hang and you know, be a part of this ongoing discussion to try to make humans suck less.
子旭，还没问过你们跟李军有过什么恩怨？
What is this one?
像一般百姓、绿林军众人，他们虽然畏惧朝廷，害怕王莽，但对他们而言，朝廷有着众多不能，李军不过是其中之一罢了。而你却不同，你这么在意李军，又是为何？
And Jolly, one of the answers to your question that you text me is going to be coming out. I need to make sure you're on our email list. If you're not, I need to get you on there. And that's on me. There's nothing you need to do. I just need to take care of it. But the answer to some of your question is, two of the things I'm going to be focusing on with my Spartans for the year 2022 is healing after the battle. So we've just been through 2 years of a pandemic and people going through some pretty hard stuff. How do we heal? And then how do we get back to basics to make sure we get our life back on track to the way we want it to go? And so some of the emails you're going to be seeing from me are going to be exercises. In some cases, they're going to be things that you've already done, which is why I asked you what I asked you in the text a couple weeks ago. But they're going to be activities that help us get centered back on those things to get us focused and get us into a place where it's like, yo, this is what I want to be doing. These are the steps I know I need to be taking to make it happen. And now I have a system that's holding me accountable to get there, right? Which is where the Spartan stuff comes in. So that's the answer to your question. I will be sending that out via email potentially this weekend. I'm trying to do it all in concert with the 52 book Wisdom Challenge coming, with the podcast coming back out, trying to make sure all of that kind of comes together at the same time. So there you go. He says, I love hearing narcissistic people who love to hear their own voice. I love how you just punched me in the face with a compliment. For the record, I hate the sound of my own voice. If that helps. I have never liked my voice. Oh, by the way, B, I sent text to that number, but it just dawned on me that you probably won't send international text. Unfortunately, the system doesn't allow it. I would totally send it, but my system doesn't allow it. So it sounds like, ooh, look at that. So it sounds like what you may be telling me is that I need to have a solution for international people as well. Noted. So what I'll probably do then is I'll probably include a mailing list for y'all, for you international people, so you can just get it via email and do the challenge that way. I think that should be easy enough. Yeah, because then I can set up a mail. I can set up an auto mailer that just runs the program, similar to the way the text messages do. I'm thinking out loud. Don't pay me any mind. Pocket Thought says, well, I bet the ladies would differ, B. Deep voices are popular. I appreciate that. B's the kind of guy that leaves Christmas lights up 2 weeks after Christmas. I'll give him a second to hit what I'm referring to. You know what's funny is I'm totally, like, I score very low in the facet rather sentimentality. Like, putting up Christmas lights is work. Like, I don't want to do that shit. Like, I don't mind the lights being up because they're fun, but I don't want to be the one to put them shits up there. Like, if it was up to me, Christmas lights would never go up because I'd never get around to it. I'm too fascinated with doing other shit. I would just never get around to it. Oh, man. But no, you're not wrong, though, because yes, I'm the guy that would leave the Christmas lights up, but because I'm lazy as shit. Not because... not for any other reason than I just didn't feel like taking them down, so my neighbors are going to suffer. Badass dude out of Hong Kong, buying up everything, goddamn thing. And what's his name? I don't know his name. You don't know his name? Shit, he ain't buying nothing from me.
我被李军通缉了，大体上就是这种恩怨。
He says you still have the Christmas border on OBS. I have a feeling that shit is gonna stay there for a month.
或许是为了我看得比性命还重的东西吧。
Oh man.
你是说天书？
Dude, you know how much effort it took me to put that stupid ass Christmas banner up? I was like, you know what? People probably want to see Christmas. Let me put it up. I was like, let's work.
没错，
Don't do that shit.
就是李军下的手。
当真？
不止如此。
Nah, so my rule is after New Year's everything
被他
comes
们讽
down.
刺。
So I leave everything up until
我
New
明白
Year's,
了。
and then we take it
不
down.
你不明白。也许他们是胸怀天下的冤雏吧，为了众人的利益。
Tristan says, if I ever meet someone who likes the sound of their voice, I'm
但是
gonna run far away. That's a
不
level
过
of
是这小小的
psychopathy
直
I'm
销，
afraid of.
只求能够照顾好一个小小的家。为了达成这个目的，即便要和李军
That's why
合
it took
作
me so long to start making
我也
music.
甘愿。
I hated my voice. I was like, what the hell do y'all want me rapping and singing for?
你以前从没和我说过这些。
So I'm better off just being quiet.
就算知道了，也不能改变什么，还不如不知道，快快乐乐的过日子。
阿雄，
See, I was trying to leave up the holiday stuff for you guys just until after New Year's. Hey, Monkey Man! Or whatever animal this is supposed to be emulating. Ooh, you got the crimson liquor. It's good liquor. It's crimson. Is that just another word for wine? Is that their weird way of saying red wine? I guess he's more of a fish. Or he's a frog, not a monkey. He's a frog man. Got it. What up, frog man? Wait. Like, you know what? I see these guys in all these dungeons, and I'm starting to wonder, like, do they have, like, specialty stuff that I should be paying attention to? Soul of the Guardian. Oh, so this is where you get the healing potions from? Booyaka! On Boosie. Man, why you gotta put on Boosie in this? Says now, Lou. Now, I'll let you get away with this shit because you're my cousin. But you give me what I need. Make me have to bust your ass. See, the kill ain't Boosie. Man, why you gotta put on Boosie in this? Come on, Lou, tell me something. I love Clifton Powell. Put him in more movies, please. Damn it. This is the world not understand that Clifton Powell is he's the king, bruh. Get out of here. It's Clifton fucking Powell. The noble liquor. It is liquor, and it is indeed noble. Wait a minute, I think I already had one of these. You're a whore and a vile one. Okay, wait a minute. No. Oh, that was just new. Okay, so now that I own the recipe, I don't actually have to do anything with it. I just need to go to Elysium, and that's where I'd be crafting, right? That's where I'd be crafting, right? Ho, is this where I'd be crafting or not? I start kicking ass all night, then what? Get some ho. Can any of these other... Okay, so that's the only one that could be upgraded. Armor Workshop. Fusion Labs at my... Where's the recipes button? Here they go. This is what we do right here in Maybrick. Ah, so it's just one thing? Is that how they're doing it? Okay, so this is not the right workshop. Is it this one? No. But damn, which one is it, ho? Oh, I don't have the, I got it. I see what's up. I see what I'm missing. I don't have the soul of the shambler. So I need to start getting souls of shambler before I can mess with that. That's cool. No problem, no problem. Kick ass. Kick ass, kick ass, kick ass, kick ass. Alright, that's where I came from. He said, "Old Cliff, he old now, bruh. I don't think you want to make movies anymore." How old is? I mean, he's in his 50s, right? Is he? How old is he? I didn't think he was old. Or maybe he's one of them brothers that's been around for 6 million years and he just looks young as shit. I didn't think about that. And I may be slightly biased because he's from around my way.
其实是这样的，香儿意外重伤，所幸有位前辈出手相助。 他教我借物代行之术，将香儿的元灵转移到机关人身上。
竟有这种事？所以是机关人有所损伤，需要修理吗？或许我可以帮忙看看。
那位前辈被困在机关屋之中，我修复机关是为了把他放出来。
哦。
他手握修复身躯之法，把他放出来，才能真正治好香儿。
可是，阿兄其实是不信任他的。
唉，他教我修复身躯之法，我开门放他出机关屋。我们既已谈好条件，那就是公平交易。之前2次交易，他也都信守承诺。
也不知道是什么样的人才会被关在机关屋里头，一关就是10几年。要是真放了出来，
子旭，你这是在玩火。
我
也罢，眼下也只能如此了。放他出来的时候，我会在旁边看着。我与他之间并无约定，若是真有什么情况，我出手也不算毁约。
Dang, CP is 65? He's definitely older than I thought he was. Jeez. Shit. I think that dude's older than my father. Damn. My biological father, not the guy who raised me. Wow, okay. Let's see, Trista says, that's a barrier to restarting your podcast. I want to find a host so I don't have to talk. I probably just need to get over it and do it. Possibly. Let me ask you a question, Tristan. Like, do your skills lend you to be the person who's talking on the show or the guy who may be producing shows and helping manage artists? Like, do you have a great desire to be on the microphone and want to talk about things? Or do you feel that maybe you'd be better served in more of a production role, right? Because maybe your vision is to have a podcast, but maybe you're a person who owns a podcast or helps produce it, but you bring other people on the show to actually do the show parts, and you play more of the entrepreneur and less the artist role. Is that more what you feel like you're leaning toward? Because maybe your resistance isn't all about your voice. It may just be your voice being something that you're not overly excited about. May just be one of the kind of excuses you're using for that justifies a bigger root cause, which is maybe you're not designed to be the guy talking. Maybe you're designed to be the producer, right? Or the guy who's, doing the entrepreneurial side of the production, and then, creating a platform where other people can do the talking and other people can, do the artistic part of it. Is that something you ever thought about doing? Because, like, if you're playing the producer role, what's cool about that is your success is, one, not dependent only on you. And you could produce multiple podcasts, not just one, if you're not the guy who has to be the one talking on all of them. Right? And that way you could be the person who you have experience as an artist and as a DJ and as a performer. It's like you could be passing that knowledge on to younger people or even older people, just less experienced people than you, on how to be a better showman, how to make a better show, how to get the themes congruent with what people are actually listening to and wanting to talk about. You know what I mean? So something to think about. I don't want to sway you, I just want to throw ideas at you. Could you have done that any slower, homie? Could you have made that any slower? I don't think you could. No! Oh, you pressed the wrong button one time and you are boned. I gotta sit here and watch them do this stupid ass animation. I gotta get down there in time. Run, ho! No, ho! Too slow, ho! Too slow, oh, too slow. Should have ran faster, but a pimp just caught you. All right, run it, run it, run it. Get your ass moving, ho. Let's party, ladies. Run it, bitch! Holla at you. Where's my treasure at, bitches? I know it's here. I don't want to fall in there. I had to do this all over again, ho. Oh, shit. I might have to. My man ain't jumping back up. He said, I ain't jumping. Get your ass up out of here. You jump, ho. Actually, I don't know how I would get back up there in the first place. To be earnest. Witchy. Maybe I do have to go down there. Maybe it's the only way, Johnny. Only way we redeem ourselves. Oh, shit! Don't fly off of that thing, ho! What are you doing? I appreciate what you're trying, but... that ain't it. Let's go down the hole, bitches. It didn't kill us, ho! We good and alive as hell. He says, get the boning, and all I gotta do is push this button. Oh, God. That's funny. Push a button, get boned. Yep. That's pretty much how it went down back in the old country. The old country? What's this fool talking about? No Moss. I know there's something back here. I know the developers ain't gonna let me down. I told you they wouldn't let me down, Jesus. Oh, Jesus is with these developers, man. Jesus loves Domo Studios, boy. I'm sending special blessings to Domo Studios for understanding how to make a video game that doesn't suck. I mean, this is a very basic video game. It's not complex or deep, but it is fun and simple. And I will take that 1,000 times out of 1,000 over a complex, tedious ass game.
为什么呀？机关术这么厉害，用来帮助百姓的话，不是很好吗
？38 subs, over 1,000 views. Keep killing, man. Hey, Jolly, tell me again what you started making, will you? What were you making and who was it for again? Shit! Okay, that was it. That was it. We good. Everybody be cool. We made it, man. Pimpin'.
那位巨子担心机关术被恶人所用，
就这个理由？
没错。
Oh, I saw her running down them steps. I thought that was an enemy. I almost sliced her ass up. You better be glad there's no friendly fire in this game, lady. You was about to get them blades. All the blades.
朝廷也很看重他们，专门编组了一支部队，叫做李军。那近1季之前，我遇到了过去的一位师兄。啊？ 他是太傅最看重的弟子，却也投向了李军。在此之前，我一直以为可以劝他们回心转意，现在才知道， 他们已经不是以前的师兄师姐了，
可你和李军
早已恩断义绝。子虚信我吗？等香儿的事情结束，我就会去找李军算账。
吼！
Alright, let's get this door open. I thought this was a secret. I didn't realize this was the way to get across. Thought I was doing some gangster shit. It's like, no, you're just playing the game backwards, ho. You are not as awesome as you think you are. Sit down. Okay. Oh, so those frog kills all give up those recipes. Alright, so maybe the frog man, I don't need to buy things from him. That's right, the cryptocurrency journey. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, I look forward to us chopping it up about that stuff when we get a little bit deeper into the Spartan training stuff. Oh, good God. What are they doing to me? Don't do this. No, don't make the game this. So not that. No, ho! Wrong effing one. You are the whore of all whores. It's you. Alright, so I guess I was supposed to hit this after, not before. The viewers help with teaching me things in the comments and help me see. Hey, that's freaking awesome, man. That's close, but no cigar. That is it. Huh. Well, so much for skipping the puzzles. anything unlocked when I did this thing? See, Kaz says, as much as I enjoy Uncharted, I find it amusing that there's all these fancy mechanisms that would definitely not survive the elements and time. I know, right? Like, who is the dude in charge of maintenance in the big damn dwarf puzzle in the cave dungeon? That guy is getting paid. It's like an elevator mechanic. That dude is never not working. And if you're an elevator mechanic, you are going to have work for the rest of your life. At least, you know, in the current modern history. You know, once we have teleporters and shit, the elevator mechanic job will go away. But then you'll just transition those skills to fixing teleporters. He said, blame Indiana Jones. Okay, if that's up, and ain't nothing wrong with the Rizon, let's party a little bit. Not it. But see, clearly the patterns, that's the two patterns of the door that I'm doing in the puzzle, but there's no way to isolate the circles to move one at a time that I'm aware of. Oh, yes, the F there is, you whore of Babylonian fart taster. Alright, I just need to count the rotations. This is a counting puzzle, because game designers can't make a game without a puzzle. It's incomplete if you ain't got puzzles in it, ho. So that's the first one. Booyaka. Got it. Yeah, you were right, Kaz. You're 100% right, buddy. You're on the money, Kaz. Well played. So I've just been doing the puzzle backwards, that's all. Thank you, Kaz. So, like, Tristan, if I was in your shoes, going back to this podcast thing, there are a number of people here who have been talking about getting a podcast or some type of show off the ground. You have experience doing shows out there in the wild and making money doing it. It may stand to reason that you say, hey, all y'all that are brand new and wanting to work on podcasts, why don't we set up a meeting where we can all discuss what we're all collectively working on individually, right? And you do this all on the Discord. What is everybody working on individually? Great. Where do we have cross purposes, right? We have two people who are talking about similar things where we could possibly have, they're doing their individual thing, but we bring them together to collect. And this is what I was telling you guys, in the modern world, start building Avengers teams. Don't try to be a lone warrior, because the volume that you're going to need to produce to get attention in the modern world for anything, for a business or otherwise, you're going to need teams to do it. So partner with people who are going in the same direction as you, and then pool your ideas and time and efforts together to make a Voltron. You're still going to do all your individual shit. You're just going to be part of a bigger whole that produces things that cross-pollinates all the different audiences. And then you become the producer who's helping them do things. I mean, you would also fall into the line of potentially being like a manager, where it's you're meeting with them to help them figure out their themes and how they would resonate with their audience, right? And making sure that what they want to talk about is congruent to the audience, not only the audience they want to reach, but the outcome they want that audience to have, right? And helping them do things like scheduling their shows, getting their what we call in the military kind of your battle rhythm figured out. Like, how do you record? When do you like to record? How do you like to edit? And then helping them build their system out and helping them run their show, so that all they have to do as the artist or the talent is show up, push the on button, record it, and then booyah, right? And then we've got people on the Discord that also do editing, right? And for people that are just getting started, you guys just barter time. Like, hey, who are the audio editors here? Okay, what do I have in my job jar if I'm the creator who's going to get help from an editor that I could give them? And then until you have the money to fund a show, you just barter your way up. And like, literally, I've talked to a very wealthy guy, close to a billionaire, who started a radio station. He was a real estate dude. He had no experience in starting a radio station, but he had access to some capital, but mostly just a lot of hard work, and he figured out how to run a radio show, and then made it, I think, one of New York's dopest radio shows back in the 80s. I don't think they do it anymore. I think it was about real estate and business. But it's like, he didn't know shit about starting a radio station. He just did it and figured it out and got other people to be a part of it. Like, things always, like, dope stuff always happens when smart people start talking to each other. Because someone's going to have an idea that you just haven't thought of yet. And if you guys are talking together, you're sharing that information and helping each other build up.
或许会有完好的零件。太好了，这还能用。我们走吧，去放出那位前辈。
无论过往的恩怨如何，但是红儿，我信你。
我也相信红姐姐。
天下 K。
Oh shit. We disappearing out here? Why weren't you doing that during all the fights, lady? We could have won every fight by disappearing. Reminds me of the world's smartest podcast network, where 4 different podcasters were all acting as guests. Exactly right. That's, your guests come from the people you're building with. 100%. I do that now. Like, the people who are on my show all have shows. And they're usually all friends of mine.
这就是天书世界吗？
Not always, but usually. Or that we become friends usually after they're on the show.
天书世界能够映照一个人的内心。内心良善的人看到的是明媚风光、花团锦簇；内心丑恶的人则会看到寸草不生的不毛之地。
真的吗？我看到桃花片片，正是阳春时节啊。
假的。
啊？
逗你们玩呢。
阿兄这阵子太严肃了，害我都忘了小心提防。
And this soundtrack is serious business. Pocket Thought says, hey B, I would love to hear some of your perspectives on my situation, given you've seen me go through this journey for some time. Can I bug you for a call? Whenever you'll have time, of course. I'll adjust to your schedule. And of course, respect your time and make it worth the investment. Okay. Yeah, we can figure it out. It's not hard at all, lady. Oh, we're back here. All right. Hold on, I'm going to run past and try to get some treasure, and then we'll come back and kick ass. It's the cure for AIDS. He says it's the cure for AIDS. Sorry about last night. That dude is the king. Gefilte fish. Yeah, and so Tristan, just go in with the expectation that, hey, we're just trying, we're gonna see if we can build something, you know. Like, I think your posture is, I think if we collaborate, we can build something really, really awesome where we help each other and do it together. And then just set your expectations for, hey, one step, one punch, one round at a time. Not, you know, we're all going to be on the Joe Rogan show in a year. Like, no, can we build something and effectively get consistent and disciplined about the production? And can we get people to listen? This is, I got to tell my son, he's like, Dad, I did a live stream tonight. Man, only 20 people showed up. I said, go outside right now and get 20 people to listen to you. Go. I said, get out of my house. Go outside and convince 20 motherfuckers on this street to listen to you. He's like, Dad, that's impossible. I said, well, if it's impossible, how did you get 20 people to show up to your show? And he's like, oh. I was like, yeah, perspective. Your problem is you're watching all these big YouTubers who no one ever gets to be like except them, right? Because they're the outliers that the platform uses to promote the platform, right? Is it possible that you could become one of them? Yes, but it's not likely. So play for the strategy that's more likely. You get really awesome at what you do, and over a couple of years, you build something for yourself that more than pays for your life. And that's more than good enough. You don't want to be PewDiePie. His life sucks. You would not want to trade with him. I promise you. You wouldn't want to trade all of the pain he has for that little bit of fame and that $7 million he makes a year on his YouTube channel. You would not want to trade with him. I promise you. You know, so, you know, you set the expectation for the world we're living in, not for what YouTube and all these gurus try to paint this world. I can help you become the next PewDiePie. Probably can't, right? And that's what I loved about all my mentors. Like when I was in music, they kicked the real shit to me. The manager I went to get mentoring and help, and who I probably would have hired if I'd stayed in music, she told me straight up, you ain't Jay-Z, you ain't gonna be Jay-Z. So don't even ask me to help you get there. I said, all right, bet. Where am I going? You're a fucking weirdo who's into weird esoteric shit. This is how many people are going to like it. Here's how long it's going to take you to build it. And here's how broke you're going to be doing it for this long. She's like, I've been doing this 400 years. I know exactly. I've done enough artists to know exactly what your trajectory is going to be like. You know? And I said, great, thanks. I'm quitting music immediately. I make way more money than what you're talking about doing business. She's like, yeah, keep doing business. Like, make music as a hobby. Fuck making this your career. I was like, got it. Thank you.
大王恕罪，我费尽千难万险，终于找到一位墨者。
真慢，整得本大王又长了好几根白胡子。好了，闲话少说，快让那个墨家小辈放我出来。
是，大王稍等。
Yeah, and a show of 10 people is always more fun than a show of 1,000. Every time. I've been doing shows a long time, guys. The intimate, and Dave Chappelle talking. If you don't believe me, listen to Dave Chappelle. The intimate clubs are always more fun than the big shows. Always. As a matter of fact, we got other artists here. Ask Tristan. He knows what I'm talking about. I've played in front of thousands. I've played in front of 2. Now, I'll say thousands is better than 2. But it is not better than hundreds in terms of the fun you're going to have at the show and actually performing it. Like these little intimate shows we do together that, you know, by the end of the night, probably 300 people stop by. That's all we need, man. I love that because I get to talk to each one of you. There's value in our exchange. It's not just me monkeying around for your entertainment for 3 hours. We actually share some real shit. We pray together. We live together. We build together. Doesn't get better than my audience. Fuck having 1 million people following me around. 1 million people means a lot of them are gonna suck. I'll take 300 for ever, Alex.
你便是那墨家小辈吧？机关术学的不错，就是动作慢了点。
This dude was a bird the whole time.
往后，本大王得好好指点指点你。老前辈说的话，你可要认真听进去啊！
好，日后还请大王多多指点晚辈了。
你真是大王，竟是如此漂亮的鹦鹉。
废话，我吉鹏大王不是鹦鹉，难道是人啊？
吉鹏大王该不会是太过淘气，被主人关起来了吧？
胡说！我是奉大小姐之命驻守此地。
驻守？那你为何会困在机关里？一困就是10几年。
大小姐用心良苦，小鬼，你们猜不透的。这样说话实在挺累。小丫头，你的手给本大王站一会儿。
我已依约放出大王，就请大王指导修复躯体的方式了。
修复人体的方式繁复，但其实与炼化妖魔相差无几。先按本大王的指示，炼化一头妖魔试试看吧。这炼化妖魔，素材的挑选可是很重要的，会决定产出的结果。等等，听本大王指示再下手。凡是越稀有的妖魔，炼化时所需要的素材就更要谨慎，把握个80%，修复人体也是一样的道理。好，就把这素材加下去。
Let me grab my controller just in case this is a quick time event.
真的可以？
天书可真是几乎无所不能了。
I have no idea what's going on in
从
this
不
game.
夸张，能做到的事就是能做到。
太好了，香儿，马上为你修复身躯。
Awesome. How cool, man.
没问题的。
香囊先系上去，这样可以静心辟邪，
消灾解厄，百毒不侵。
动手吧！
成功了吗？
这气息不对劲，是黑火，黑火妖魔！快转移，快出剑术！
殿下。
Oh yeah, it's about to get real. I guess it just got real. Yeah, we're holding it down, Rion Mole. We're still on, and we're holding it down. I'm calm. I'm just ready to kick ass. Hey, switch stances. This one right here about to do it up. I was in the stance I wanted. Damn it. I wasn't paying enough attention. Alright, light them up. Grenades. Woo! She got me hard on that one. There you go, homegirl. Got it, got it, got it. Come on. Wait, that wasn't no... Yeah! Wait a minute, that didn't kill her, though. Why did it give me the trophy if it didn't kill her? You know what? I'll take the trophy and stop it. That's what I'm gonna do. Still got the trophy, but it didn't kill her. That's awesome.
香儿，
香，我闻不到呢。
没事，不要紧的。阿兄再想想办法啊。
没事，不要紧，没关系，别担心。你只会说这些敷衍我。
阿兄，我也是。
阿兄，你又不是我亲阿兄。
你，
反正我什么忙也帮不上，还只会拖累你。何必一口一个的阿兄？干脆不要管我好了。
红姐姐也会帮忙的，我们一起想想办法，好吗？
Oof, they captured her emotions really well in that scene. Because she has to be feeling like
你
that.
说十拿九稳，为什么就失败了？身躯半点不存。
本大王才想问你呢，为何小丫头的躯体里会有黑火的气息？
你说什么？
我说黑火，黑火。
莫不是那时，香儿被黑雾大妖所伤留下的气息？
幸亏本大王发现的早，否则遭殃的不止小丫头的身体，天书世界的邪律也会大受影响。
你倒是怪起我来了。
这是自然，炼化时掺入黑火，根本就是疯了。全天下能够驾驭黑火的，也只有我们大小姐了。
那眼下，该如何修复香儿的身躯？
烧的半点不存了，如何修复？
你说了要助香儿修复身躯，这是我们的交易。
没有东西可以交易了，只好取消交易。
妥，既然交易取消了，那我就把你关回去吧。
慢着，还有一个法子。
说。
要想从无到有，炼化出人类身躯，只能利用黑火。
刚刚就那么一丝黑火气息，便失控至此。
我说了，全天下能够驾驭黑火的，只有我们大小姐。本大王正要去找她，就好心收你们一程吧。走啦，走啦，去找大小姐。
有法子了，不过就是麻烦了点儿。大王的尊长精善炼化之道，可以驾驭黑火，炼出人类躯体。
当真？
本大王说的自然不假。
香儿，我们走。
走吧，走吧，出去说。
我回到巴蜀，那儿景色依旧。到了无名丘，便想起过去的事。故人不在，留我一人独自面对。黑火妖魔必须消灭，我便全力反击。轩辕剑不该落入他人手中，我便封印了它。只是夫君，我真的累了。
Just saw that YouTube story of you voice acting. Who are you talking to, Jolly? Who was voice acting? Who's the voice actor here? I want to see that.
据大王所言，目前几个可能的地点：巴蜀、无名丘、龟谷雪地。而且这位大小姐，很有可能就是传闻中的那位
绿衣女子。
没礼貌！大小姐岂是你们这群小辈叫的？要叫夫人。
是。
以绿衣女子的传闻推断，目前最有可能的方位是北边，鬼谷雪地。
北边要开始打仗了，怕是交通不易。途经玉水的时候，先去和文书打个招呼。
There it is. All right, all right, all right. We done. Oh, I got the tiger stance. Oh, give me that tiger stance. Oh, you better give it up. I'm not a game. Where's my tiger stance? Oh, where is my tiger stance? There she is. Ooh, got 4,000 XP. Hell yeah. I can dig that. Just can you dig down? You being the Gimli, the orc messing. Oh! Ah, wow. I forgot I made that. I would do that so much differently if I had it to do over again. But I was improvising, so. It's like I watched it, I was like, oh, I could have done this much better if I wasn't making it up on the fly. Oh, kick ass 30, please. Jolly says, have you played any of the first three God of Wars? I don't believe so. It was funny as shit for it being spontaneous.
有张新的。
I appreciate that.
年约20，喜着绿衣。大王，你瞧瞧，这人像不像夫人？
Yeah, the game I did it on was so bad. It was like, oh my god, how do people play this shit and be all right with it?
没有画出我家大小姐风姿绰约的神韵。
吉鹏大王就别生气啦，李军的画工一向把人画丑。你看，画着阿兄的这张，我看了也觉得不对劲。
小鬼本来就长得不行啊。
是吗？我倒觉得不错。 不晓得圣公将军有没有好好对待守平的人们？就怕将军认为老弱妇孺不宜行军。
待会儿便知了。
Well, as is typical, I seem to have kept you all later than I had planned, so go ahead and wrap things up here at the campfire. What do y'all say to that? Take some last comments if you guys got anything for me. Make sure you guys go ahead and get on the book list if you haven't already so you can enter our Bryant Chambers Movement Wisdom Challenge. Oh, we get a cutscene. Let's check it out. Or we don't get a cutscene. We just get people standing around chilling, which is fine too. I'm so used to these games launching and the 45-minute dialogues and monologues. It's like, oh, as soon as people are sitting around, well, there's time to talk again. Let's listen to boring people. I'll say this game's story is definitely less annoying than most of the games that are story focused. I think part of it is I don't speak the language, so when they're talking in the background, it just sounds like music. Like, you know, every language to me sounds like music when I don't speak the language. So it's just it becomes part of the ambiance versus having to pay attention. What did that guy say? Shit, I was trying to... so I think that definitely plays into it. But the story to me is also a little bit more interesting. First of all, it's completely absurd. I mean, we're talking to a parrot or whatever type of bird that is. I'm not a bird person, not an avian expert. But this bird is apparently a king who has a wife who's also a queen who can do magic. That's all you needed to tell me in the game, and I don't need to hear shit else. That's interesting. I'll listen to that. So yeah, Xuan-Yuan, I'm digging it. It's a very, very basic video game. It's not complex. It's very linear. I've heard that other games in the series are not so linear. This is just a kind of by the numbers, you know, go to this place, follow the map marker, do the thing, kill the people, solve the puzzle, get out. Like, the dungeons are very straightforward, and they're not labyrinths, which I hate. I typically hate dungeons in a lot of role-playing games because they're a pain in the ass to navigate, especially the Japanese role-playing games where there's random encounters. And unless you're a, you know, Z-Boyd games where you're making Japanese-style role-playing games, and you can get to a point where you can turn the damn encounters off because you're trying to focus on something else. Like, God, why did nobody else think of that but this guy? You know, and I'm sure he's not the first person to think of it, but it's the first game. I think it was the first game I had ever played that does that, was one of his. And so this game's just basic and simple. It doesn't require me to remember a whole lot of things. There's not complex move sets that I'm doing wrong and thus losing battles. It's like, are you more skilled and strong than the thing you're fighting? And do you have the equipment? And do you fight smartly? You know, so I like that this game is basic. I've been a fan of the Spiders role-playing games for a while, except for Greedfall added what I think is a, for me, I don't want to, this isn't a review, this is just my emotional reaction to the reality and observation is the parry system for that game sucks for me. And I can't use it. I can't get good at it, or I won't. I'm sure I could if my life depended on it, but it doesn't, so I won't. So that's the only Spiders game I've played where I was immediately like, well, fuck this. Every other game I've played for them I've actually liked. Bound by Flame. I think I played a bit of I played Mars War Logs, Bound by Flame, and there's another one besides Technomancer that I've played, and I can't remember the name of it. But it's like those games. It's very straightforward, not particularly difficult, but fun. And the story is mildly interesting. We're not saving the world, we're just trying to save this young lady's life, is essentially the story. Cool, I'll buy that. Let's do it. You know, and they've turned her into the MacGuffin now twice in this movie, or this story, so I think that's pretty interesting that they were able to pull her being the MacGuffin off twice. That takes some skill. Creating plot points where you use a MacGuffin differently, but it's the same MacGuffin. Pretty dope. Put God of War 1 on my list. Okay, let me write down Jolly's games here. So you have Assassin's Creed, Freedom Cry, and Liberation. You want me to add God of War 1. I'll just write God of War. God of War PS2. Only play an hour of it. I want to see. Why would you only have me play an hour of it? Instead of, why wouldn't I just play? Because the whole idea is to play them on the show. Why wouldn't I, as much as I like the God of War we're playing on the show, why wouldn't I add that to the show? Like, does it get frustrating at some point? You think I won't be able to finish it? Pocket says, thanks for another awesome stream, B. Keep at it. And heartfelt thanks for the prayer. Bless you. Nothing but love for you, lady. Keep killing. All right, we're going to all get through this together, man. Stay up. Turbo Lynn says, appreciate y'all. Be safe. We appreciate you too. And special shout out to Jolly, man. Thanks for sending games to the show. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of us helping to produce this thing. And thanks to all of you for being here and just being a part of whatever this thing is we're up to try to make life suck just a little bit less. I love you guys. We are stronger than I. I'll see you back here tomorrow. We should be playing Chernobylite. And with that, I will bid you all a fond adieu.